Okay, I don't know what happened to CCO. So I logged in here just in case he couldn't come back in. Let me see if I can find him. I'm on YouTube right now looking for CCO. Oh, there he is. Let me. Okay, let's try it this way. Put it on YouTube. And there. And let's see who shows up. Well, what happened to CCO? No, there's one person. Hello, hello, hello. I wonder who could be. Let's see. Let's kill this one. And Fire Squad. And Coin Collector's not back yet. 903. Nice. Nope. Okay. Kill that. Hey, Stacking Silver. How you doing? Day off today? It's 12:33 in the morning? Yep. It's 27th. 4 people. Silver, you want to Stacking D with Silver. How you doing? Yeah. I haven't done Facebook. Is there a lot of people on Facebook groups for coins? We're on chat with CCO, but he hasn't come back yet. We had the 5 of us or 4 of us on chat, and all of a sudden it went dead, and I'm still looking for him to come back on, but I don't see him. Been that way for about 5 minutes now. I wonder if his phone died or something, or his computer died. Oh, you had to go to sleep? Okay, no problem, the coin collector. Oh, cool. Well, you guys are welcome to come over here. No, no, no. We would have picked up somewhere else. That's okay, Coy Collector. Go Mimi's. Besides, you're 2 hours ahead of me, so you're probably what 2:30 in the morning over there. I slept a little bit in the evening. Phone an MS69 with purple and blue toning. Got it for $31. Graded by PCGS. Awesome, they're stacking. Hey, Popzilla. Is Greg coming too? Come on up, Greg. Let me send you an email. Now that I got your info. Let's see. Where am I? Here we go. StreamYard, compose. It's yeah. I hope I copied it right. That would be really stupid of me not copying it right down. Go to my StreamYard, pick up the invite link, copy it, close that part, go back to my paste it, and send it. Yeah, it is hard on the phone. I hope Craig comes over. I rarely use my phone, mainly because it kills the battery faster. Put that on YouTube also. Put that in live chat. Go back to StreamYards. Yeah. Yeah, I sent you a link, 7. Popsill, you want to come up? I was getting some good conversation. Six people. Awesome. Okay, on its way. Count Sharky. Let's see. There you go.
Hey, there I am.
There we go. Yeah,
How you doing, buddy? Been a
I'm
long
doing
time,
fine. Yeah. Like 10 minutes ago.
right?
Yeah, something we should mention also during our live streams that whoever is hosting that they could either leave it on or they could say, "Hey guys, in about what's I'm planning to go to bed around this time," and that we can plan it, and that way someone else can take over.
Right, right.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Some of the things that truth to me is a big thing. Um, Linking to our conversation earlier, and if I find out you lied to me, you lied to me once, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
know what
question
you mean,
everything.
man.
Everything you say, I'm gonna question. I don't
Yeah,
care if you're Republican or Democrat or Independent or Green Party or whatever.
right.
Uh, you tell me a lie, or you try to skirt the truth.
Jerk me around. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
that bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm the same way. I mean, I phrase it differently, but basically, it's like, I'll trust you until you prove me wrong.
Right,
You know,
right. But
I've been that way for a lot of years, and unfortunately, a few people have proved me wrong. Um, you but it's like after the first time, yeah, okay, you're done.
because I even tell my students, if you could prove me wrong and you could do it respectfully, then there should be no reason for me to think of you ill or badly because you proved me wrong. Or
Right.
if you can persuade me, that's an even better trait. If you can tell me certain things that's not true, but then if I tell you something in reverse and you ignore what I'm saying to you, then that's even more difficult for me. But
Yeah, I understand.
yeah, I come from a time and a place where I went to private Catholic school for 12 years, and I even found out later when I got out of high school, things are not what they tell me they are, and I learned the hard way that how adults are or they can be, and that kind of
Yeah,
made me pessimistic about people and didn't trust a lot of people for a long time until I learned how to
yeah.
figure people out.
Can't say I blame you.
Yeah. Popzilla.
What's up, brother? I'm here.
All right, pops, what's up?
I'm glad. I hope Craig comes back and checks with us.
Haven't seen you in like forever. All
I know it's been a long time, brah.
Okay, coin collector, take care of yourself. Go Mimis.
right, night, Dallas.
Like I said before, yeah, I hardly talk to kids under the age of 18, especially in this type of medium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's one of the
I
rare
get
ones.
it.
I well, it's not unfortunate, but I work in a restaurant, and at least more than half of our crew is teenagers, so I get all that side of all that information of what they're going through, what they're thinking, how they're doing.
Well, even when I got in trouble because I hired too many 18-year-olds.
See,
Oh,
And
yikes.
the reason I hired them is because, okay, one, they're going to need someone to give them a chance, right? If
Right,
you don't get, and you can't hire someone who's 19 or 20 years old, since out of high school they didn't have any experience working other than going to school and working for a teacher or working for the school. But that's not the same thing. I mean,
exactly.
and working for a corporation or even a small, five and dime store. What I used to remember, most of my friends would work at Roscoe's or Woolworths or Whitefront, which is all the kids went to work there. Word of
Yep.
mouth.
right.
And now I don't see that. I even my corporation didn't know like hiring 18-year-olds. Um,
Yeah,
and how you didn't get them to work? I mean, to be our future. You got to give them some responsibility.
I don't see it happening, man. They all can't get their face out of their phone for longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They gotta be checking that phone every 2 or 3 minutes.
Hey, Pop, do you have a rule on the floor, on the restaurant floor, where you say
We do, but nobody goes by it, and I just can't fire everybody.
no? I'd make it fun. I would say, hey, you have your phone on the floor and you answer it during you taking an order. You put $1 in for the Friday feast.
It's not that they answer it; they don't talk on it. They just text and look at Facebook and Snapchat and all that other garbage that I don't even have any idea about.
Oh,
But yeah, you can't get them unless I would have to fire half the crew tomorrow if I made that rule, or else
Yeah.
what if they didn't have no money to put in the jar? I mean,
they're tips.
yeah, that's one idea. You
Yeah,
get
that's the
seen on your
problem,
phone,
man.
no tips.
My brother is a teacher. He's I think he's a 7th grade teacher.
Oh
Which,
God.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, every time I hear that song, what the hell is that song? It was maybe not Eagles, but one of the dudes from the Eagles. Um, oh crap, I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah, I feel bad for him because he's got these young girls like coming on to him and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, what do I do, dude? Like,
You
he
stay
said,
away.
you just,
Is he single?
yeah, no, he's married.
Oh, tell him to flash that ring.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you just gotta stay cool, man. You can't give in.
Yeah,
If
but
you
I
give
remember,
in, you're
I
gonna end up
remember my 8th grade.
fired, and or in jail. I mean, yeah, not cool.
Mm. It's just like my 8th grade teacher. Oh my God, she was gorgeous.
Hey, Miss Fawn,
No,
why don't
no,
you touch the hiney?
she was strict. She was
Like,
strict. She didn't play no games.
Hell yeah,
But
I had that teacher too.
she could dress up though. I tell you that.
I had two of them, my freshman algebra teacher and my sophomore biology teacher. Oh man,
You
yeah,
know what?
both of them. Yeah, I would have cut off Lefty.
Then she wouldn't have any use for you. Sorry about that. I had to throw that in. That's funny. No, but there's a teacher over at elementary school. I had a cover for. They asked me if I wouldn't mind covering half her day because I only worked half that day, and I just had to come back in, and I shouldn't have gone in, but I went back, and they said there's a teacher that at this certain school needed some backup, and I went to go meet her. I said, "Oh my lord!" It was one of my friends on my baseball team, his daughter, and she
Oh
is
no.
such a freaking I've never seen anybody so pretty, in a long time. And she was just
Yeah.
dressed in jeans and tennis shoes and a blouse, and nothing
Oh,
fantastic.
dude.
And I said, "You look like certain name." And I said it to her, and she goes, "Yeah, that's my dad." I go, "Oh, well, I'm so and so." Yeah, I've heard your name before. And I said, "Oh my gosh!" And
And
then
then you're like, okay, never
then she
mind.
left, and then she left, and all the boys were go to this. I walk in the classroom the half day right after lunch, and the boys were asking, "Who are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm your teacher's replacement for right now because she had an emergency. She had to go." No, and the girls are happy. The girls are happy. I mean, not happy. The boys weren't happy, and the girls said, "Yay, she's gone for the day." So there seems to be competition there.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's tough, man.
And the thing is, she's a natural beauty. She had no makeup on that I could tell.
Yeah.
One of those women that that can just shine in the sun. That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know if any of you guys agree with me, but it's to me today's high school girls look way different than the high school girls that I went to school with.
that's true.
It's like, oh my god.
Well, guys, like I said, I'm older than most of you guys, and I still see them as children. I mean, yeah, they may have the physical attributes of a female, but
Right.
The way they dress too.
yeah, and it's sometimes it's overkill, you know.
Yeah.
And I had
Indeed.
one friend of mine who's a baseball coach, and he walks in the door. He's the typical baseball 6'1", shortstop.
Right.
Just like Thor. And he walks into the
Must be
room.
nice. Go ahead, Hector. I'm sorry, but We didn't lose Hector, did we?
We lost Hector's audio.
Oh no. I'll hate when that happens.
Yep.
And he was on a good story too.
Dressed like Thor.
Oh crap! Now what?
I don't know.
Now my stupid phone, my talking phone, just beeped at me saying it's losing a battery. But I just plugged the thing back in, so I think that'll be all right.
I can hear you.
Cool. All right, let's look at the text chat. Who's out there? Heavens. There's me, CCO, who's going to bed, Mobzilla. Well, come on, Mobzilla, jump in, man.
Who's
Okay.
Mobzilla? You talking about me? I guess Hector rolled out on us.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. Yep, I am talking about you, apparently. Oh, boy. You can tell I've been up a while.
It's all good, brother.
I had a long night last night, man. I realized I couldn't go home to Ohio to visit all my relatives, so I really couldn't fall asleep about
I'm back.
5. And then my wife woke me up early in the morning. I'm like, oh, here we
You guys hear me?
We hear you.
go. Yeah.
I don't know.
Welcome
About this
back.
time, every night about this time, I always get disconnected. I don't know why.
Huh.
I'm back. Anyway,
Weird.
I'm glad that we can talk about things that that most people will not tolerate.
Yeah.
And I was sensing that with a little bit with Craig. I hope not.
No, Craig's cool. Craig will talk about
I know
anything.
Craig is really cool. I mean, we've had disagreements on, and I don't mean disagreements in like an argument, but disagreements that have different opinion of like guns and like that.
Right.
I like guns, but I don't normally think that we should carry them on the street, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's crazy how things going. My wife and I talked about that if we had our grandkids or our kids that our own biological kids, I told them, you get out with the kids, and I'm gonna go after the guy. Either way,
Right.
we get shot, you know. So
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I like guns. I have a lot of guns, but I don't go around flaunting it. It's more protect my family kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yep. Same here.
Well, plus I love target shooting. I'm not gonna lie.
Same here.
I really enjoy target shooting. I have a little range in my backyard where I can basically, because we're close to other people,
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
county.
If you're gonna have
in
a
my
gun, you
county,
might as well be good at it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, in my county, if you're within 100 yards of another house, you have to have them sign off on you shooting in your backyard. So
100 yards.
yeah, so I've got I have to have
What-
5 people sign off every year for me to be able to shoot a 22 in my backyard.
So if you shoot a 22 long, that thing goes up to a mile away.
Right?
Over here, we don't even have that rule. As long as you're out of city limits, you can shoot.
Yeah.
And
Well,
our
I'm out of city limits, but it's a county thing, They're like, yeah. If
the
you're within 100 yards of a house, you got to get them to sign off, and it has to be once a year. That's the worst part. It can't be a one-time thing. You have to have them sign every year.
So
and
if one
for us,
person doesn't sign, then you can't shoot in your house. In your
Yeah.
property.
and
So I have to be really nice to my neighbors.
Bring them a cherry pie.
Hey, buddy, remember that form I had to sign last year? It's time to sign again.
it's just so like in our county, we can't shoot our guns off unless it's birdshot, and
Oh man.
only because we have so many cattle. It wasn't the people that were complaining about it; it was the ranchers, because a lot of them, our cattle would get well, even our cow cattle got shot one time, and well, it'd be a 223 or even a 45. Our cows were getting
Yeah.
shot, so they don't allow
Yeah.
shooting in California, and I can see it because actually it's a
Yeah,
economic
I
issue.
get it. Go ahead.
But trying to get a bullet out of a cow when they doesn't want to stay still, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't move, it's hard. And then if they get hit in the stomach, then you got sepsis and you got infections, and it's a lot of.
Right.
And then sometimes if it's bad, then we might have to harvest it, and we don't want to do that
Right.
either because it's a cow. I mean, bulls
Right.
1/10 or 1/20, depending what the ratio is and what kind of breed we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a 2,000-pound bull and it gets hit. I
Oh,
had
yeah.
one neighbor
Yeah,
lost.
you're out a lot of money right there, man.
Yeah, one of my dad's neighbors when he was running the ranch got hit in the testicles, and they had to operate and take the guy out. With losing
Damn.
his marbles. So that took out his production. So
Right.
they tried to find the guy who shot the bull, and they found him, but they couldn't prosecute him for future earnings.
Oh man.
They
Yeah,
just
see that's crazy. I mean, believe me, I've been there and at the same time I avoid that situation. I
Me
don't know
too.
if you've seen I don't know if you've seen my videos, but I have a really good backstop in my backyard and I only shoot
Exactly.
22s back there.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm gonna get a suppressor from a 9 so I can shoot something other than 22s back there. But anyway, I mean it's the even if even if I suddenly turn into a 4-year-old and can't shoot my goddamn gun right,
yeah.
even if I miss my backstop, it's going into a field
There
with
you go.
nothing.
You
I
got to
mean,
be safe.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree completely. I mean, if there were houses behind my house,
Yeah.
yeah, I would just have to say, okay, I'm going to my range. That's it. I'm going to my indoor range where I have to pay to shoot. But
You got to make sure whatever's behind your target
oh
is
yeah, I mean,
dirt.
absolutely. I mean, I agree with that 100%. I mean, a lot of, I mean, basically, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna shoot, make sure whatever's behind or whatever you're shooting at, you're willing to kill.
It's
Yeah.
just like my neighbor. He's a cop, and he told me not to get any high powered rifles because if you shoot the rifle and it goes through the person, it goes through walls. I mean, all this is
Yeah,
sheetrock in between. But with a shotgun, you do damage. You put the guy down, and it doesn't go past him.
yeah,
And I've heard people say, "Well, I'm going to get my R-15 or whatever," And I said, "Are you
right,
sure about that? That's home protection. That's like more like field work." But
right.
Exactly.
so
Yeah, I'm with you.
the tool should be fit the like if I was protecting my family, I'd get a Mossberg, 12 gauge.
That's what I
Right.
got.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Maverick.
man. I want to be a smart shooter. I mean, I'm not willing to put anybody else at risk.
Right.
I mean, if it's anything that's gonna put anybody at risk, I'm not gonna shoot it. I mean, that's basically the way it is.
The only time I carried a gun is before they had concealed weapon permits, and this is back when my sister got married, and I didn't know anything about if there was concealed weapons permit in those days. But back in the '80s, on my honeymoon, we went from all over California and up through Nevada and part of Arizona, and I carried a little 25. You know, um,
Yeah.
it's more of a noisemaker, but if I hit the right place in the right spot, you're going
Oh
down.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to take 3 or 4 in the gut. Just just
Oh,
saying.
jeez.
I wouldn't even want to take one in the leg. Shit.
Good point.
I'll leave you alone, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Indeed. I agree.
my dad in the service, he said he swears by 45s.
Oh yeah. I mean, 45s are strong. They'll knock somebody down with one shot normally
Oh
if
yeah.
you hit them in a good spot. But Yeah, I don't have any 45s. I mean,
I appreciate the 38 special.
yeah,
Long nose or short?
It's a short snub nose.
Hmm.
38 plus P. Over here, we don't need no carry permit. You can just walk around all day, every day with a pistol in your pocket.
where
And
are you, Pop?
I'm in Idaho. It's called the open
Oh,
carry.
okay, cool.
you see, the thing is that because of a certain political climate right now, I could not carry one in the open.
Mm,
I mean, we could carry it open or concealed, and then no license
yeah.
needed, no permit,
Oh,
no
you're
nothing.
what do we call that?
Constitutional carry.
Constitutional carry state. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's. I mean, I'm sorry, man, but that's the way it should be. I mean,
We
that's
don't have
the
much
way.
crime up here. Trust me.
There
Oh
aren't that
yeah,
many, there
no
aren't many
doubt.
people up there too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the thing,
That's
which
that's
is
what see.
crazy.
That's to me. I think that's is the biggest problem, is because if we do have people like in the next town, we have shootings every day. You hear
Yeah,
about mass shootings? Shit, we had a family of 4 got killed, and 12 more people were wounded,
yeah.
and it was a football party.
yeah.
Jesus,
And
man.
Yeah,
what what's the important point? The important point is, they were probably in a gun-free zone, right?
no,
No.
no.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of shootings happen in gun-free zones. So
Well, in this may sound, and I hate to use it this way, but in oh man, this is really hard to say because I
it's all
remember
right, man. Go ahead.
it's like the El Paso thing. The guy
Yeah.
went looking for Mexicans only. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the only thing, and he bought his weapons legally. And I'm going, and
Right,
then there's a joke among us Mexicans saying, and I don't say us Mexicans, I'm saying Latinos, because it could be anybody. That
right.
when you see a white guy with a long rifle, duck.
Yeah,
It's a,
yeah. I
Huh.
it's
don't
a, it's
blame
a
you.
it's a running joke, but I mean it's true. I mean,
No, yeah. I obviously I'm in North Carolina, so I don't live in that same situation. But
uh,
yeah, I mean, if I'm with you and I'm Latino, yeah, I would do the same thing. I mean, it's yeah, sad but true, you know.
yeah, it's like the first time I went to Missouri 7 years ago to visit my son after he moved there. Now you got to imagine, my son is 6'2" and 250 pounds. He's not a little guy, and,
Yeah, apparently.
he's intimidating. He can be intimidating, but he's a big. I call him my big teddy bear. He's really nice guy, very tolerable. But geez, don't piss him off. He
Yeah,
goes
right.
from switch on to switch off.
Oh yeah, no
And
doubt.
he was in Missouri,
I'm the same way, only a little smaller. But go
uh,
ahead.
but he had a situation where. Uh, I walked in the store with him first, and I saw this guy carrying a little small 22. I could tell because it had 8 rounds. And
Right.
so I walk in the door, and I'm going, this dude's carrying a gun, and it's just loose on his hip. It's not like, a nice holster like police officers have where it's stiff and it's close to the
Hmm.
body. It was just like hanging on a small belt. I said, okay,
Right.
this guy's really careless. I mean,
Yeah.
him,
Somebody could take that
Yeah.
off him and shoot.
exactly, exactly. And I said, shoot. So I watched him. You know what I had to do? I had to look up the state law for Missouri if you can carry open carry in a store. Nobody flinched except my wife and I. We're going, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't know the laws in Missouri. My son said the same thing. The first time he was there, he saw a guy carry an AR-15 across his chest into Walmart.
Yep.
Wow.
They can do that up
Oh,
here.
yeah, for us, it's either hide, run, or fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, really, I mean, dude just carrying a gun in his belt. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, man. Obviously,
I thought you had to
that's
carry.
not a good sign.
Yeah, I thought you had to carry it with inside your pants at least, or have a
Yeah, or
better
something.
secure
I
holster.
mean, in a holster, yeah. I mean, if it's in a holster or inside the waistband, which I wouldn't do, but yeah, that
That's
makes
how you
sense.
shoot
But
your
I mean,
nutsack off.
right? Indeed. Yeah, I'm not willing to do that, but Yeah. I pocket carry. I mean, it's down in my pocket,
Yep.
and if it's
Same
gonna
here.
hit me, if it's gonna hit me anywhere, it's gonna hit me in the foot, which you
Yep.
know
Or your knee.
probably ain't gonna happen anyway because I carry guns. Yeah, I don't carry a freaking
Yeah.
$30 Walmart gun. I mean,
Carry the dadgum revolver. It takes 30. It takes 30 pounds of pressure to pull that trigger.
I,
right?
Man.
I remember
But
working.
yeah, I'm with you, Hector. I mean, if you see a dude with a gun just tucked in a belt, just kind of like hanging there.
I did
Yeah.
I did an experiment one time. I worked in the fields until I was 18, and I started working in grocery stores.
Yeah.
And one time, our workplace got raided by, in those days, it was just called Immigration Service, and
Right. Right.
these guys, surrounded the whole field, and everybody started running. I didn't, and
Mhm.
so they all lined us up, and they started asking us questions, and I didn't answer a word, and didn't even speak of nothing. And
You
the
don't
cop,
have to.
and the cop was
You're
pissed
innocent.
off. Yeah, you don't have to. And the cop was getting pissed, and
Uh,
he got in my face like within half inch, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's going off. And I asked him, would you please back off and give me my personal space?
right.
Oh, you
Innocent
speak.
until proven guilty.
And he goes, oh, you speak English? And I said, what? You got to be kidding me! You can't speak English? I got smart with him, and he got really pissed off.
What did he say? I mean, did
He's told me
he?
he told me, oh, I speak English.
Ingy.
Ingy? You gotta be kidding me.
No, this is back in the
That
70s.
guy's a fucking jackass, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so he asked me for my papers, and I said I don't have any. Oh, okay. So you're legal? No, I'm an American
Oh
citizen.
boy.
What do you mean you're American? Oh, because you speak good English doesn't mean that you're an American. Okay, then prove yourself that you're an American. Show me your papers.
Exactly.
And then he
I
couldn't
can't
say.
believe he said that.
Well, he
I
said,
just
"You see this badge? That proves I'm
you
an
speak
American citizen."
Ingy.
I said, "No. If I remember correctly, my cousin, who's a border patrolman, all he has to do is prove that he's a naturalized citizen. Don't have to be born in the United States. As long as you pass the citizenship test, you can become an INS." And he got really like didn't know what to say. And then
Right.
the rancher came over and told us, "No, this guy, I've known him since a kid. He was born here, and that's the only reason to let me go." But
That's another
Wow.
thing. Most of the high school kids these days would not be able to pass the citizenship test.
well, I hate to tell you this, Popzilla, but most of my American kids can't pass. All the kids
That,
can't pass.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's sad,
Well,
man.
it's like the old joke. Taking Spanish class or French class or Russian or German, people don't pass the test, right? Well, I said, well, I was
Yeah.
an English teacher for 10 years. A third of my class always failed,
Yeah,
in their own language.
exactly. Man, it's a trip.
I know, but it's I still like teaching because I still see hope in about the top 10% of the class.
Yeah,
And
I
then
hear you.
the other third of the class, they're potential good citizens, and it's a good thing only like 1 out of 30. I'm going to say that as an average. It could be more. No, it could be less.
Headed
But
straight to prison, huh? You already know.
no, they're just going to be on someone's taxpayer bill, either the mom and dad's or ours.
You don't see any ones that are headed straight to prison?
No, they're already gone. They're already at
Oh,
community what they call community school,
yeah.
or they're in juvenile hall.
All right. Yep.
Now, I've had experience where some of my classmates, my students, were actually wearing gel monitors.
Oh man.
Yeah, in my classroom,
Holy cow.
and then I would have to talk to their PO, probation officer, and they would call up for their grades, and if they didn't keep a C or they were tardy, they were locked up again.
Locked up. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that didn't really happen. The ones that I saw going to prison, but the ones that are going to prison is because it's not just in their lower grades. It's continuous, so it builds up. It's not
Yeah.
just an overnight thing. It builds up.
Exactly. Only reason I asked that question is I seen it in my son when he was about 8.
Really?
I seen it, man. You're going to prison, and sure enough, here he is. He's in prison right now.
Yeah, we talked about that the other night.
Yeah,
But some I was also talking earlier to Seven and then Craig and CCO's channel where I see inmates working with Cal Fire, and
yeah, that's
they get
cool.
a chance. And I think that is a really cool idea,
They do. They have that up here too.
in Idaho.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go work on the fire line if you're in the low. You can't be like a super felon, but
Right.
if you're in the low level prisons or one or two, then they can let you out, go to work, dig fire lines.
no,
It's
yeah,
like I was telling Seven, I get sometimes watching my wife's movies about, and two of them I remember really well. One is where this town was trying to be saved because it was flooding, and these inmates went over to fill sandbags and took them out of jail. And the people didn't want them there at first, but
Yeah,
then they didn't want to help out. So there was like that kind of view. But
yeah,
as soon as they got into the job and start knowing people and start talking to each other, and they started to fight for the town that they
yeah,
belong somewhere. And some of them didn't even belong to that town. They were just, I don't know, maybe transient. I didn't get the whole, but the idea of the story was that these people had, if they felt they were worth something and
yeah.
they belong to a community, they can change.
Exactly. Not
right,
everybody in prison is
No,
a piece of crap.
no.
yeah, indeed.
Well, let me put it this way: I've seen a lot of crappy people outside those walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not playing.
No, the thing is I grew up listening to Martin Luther King, and I remember, some of the things he said, and when he got killed, and when Bobby got killed, and I remember even as a first grader when John Kennedy got shot, everybody was afraid, what's going to happen to this country with these kind of people who are trying to help, the majority of people, and somebody goes out and shoots them. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's I like I said, I like guns. I don't own any. I know how to shoot them. I know some game. I haven't gone through the whole gun safety program, but I want to do that with tactical, um, uh, some kind of training of tactical. I was watching John Wick, the movie.
right.
Then I started watching some of the training he took in order to be proficient in
Yeah,
firearms.
right, right.
Keanu Reeves is a badass with a gun.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I haven't seen any of that the John Wick series, but yeah, I've heard what you're saying.
Before you see the movies, I'd ask you to watch his training films for the movie.
Right.
He was trained by a 3-gun world champion here in California,
Cool. That's
and
awesome.
it was handgun, shotgun, and automatic weapon.
Nice.
Yeah, so he does some some things I didn't know, how to load a gun quickly, and how to what is it, withdraw, cover and conceal, shoot and conceal,
Right.
just tactical, just tactical stuff. And I was going, Lee, this guy's good, and he's just an
Right.
actor, and he's 50 years old.
I know,
If
right.
he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm with
sir.
you. Well, you guys know me. I'm not like the school that everybody should carry a gun, but I mean, I think if you want to, you ought to be able to. You
Mhm.
know, I mean,
That's
that's
what the
what it is,
Constitution says.
right? Yeah, that's pretty much my boat. I don't want to push anybody, but if you want to learn, I'll be happy to help you. You know,
You know who had a different viewpoint? I mean, he wants guns, and he's got some very powerful guns. I won't describe them what they are because he wasn't supposed to show it on StreamYard, but he did. EVGs from Russia. Man, talk
oh
about
yeah,
rules. Talk about rules about having guns in Russia.
yeah,
Not good. It wouldn't fly in the United States at all.
yeah, no doubt. No, yeah, EVG is cool, man. I like him.
Hmm. His humor is a little bit. I don't know if it's because if he's Russian
Different.
or he doesn't have command of English, but sometimes he comes up with some statements of going, "Oh,
Yeah,
That wasn't nice. But I kind of got the idea now that
I
it's
know.
language skills.
I know what you mean.
He's good though. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I'm a
that's
little out of it because I haven't slept enough in the last 2 nights. So yeah, forgive me for that. But
I slept all evening because we've been running around for days to get ready for Christmas, and then my wife wanted to do some more stuff, and I said, you know something, let's just rest today. Let's just veg on the couch, and we took naps and ate when we wanted to. I mean, we got snacks all over the house. I mean, we got cookies, jams, and pies, and tamales,
yeah,
and rice and beans, and shoot, I'm not gonna go nowhere to eat. This is a place to be right now.
right.
Exactly.
Sounds like it. I wish I was there.
No, yeah, I'll invite you over and have some tamales and
Now,
coffee.
in
I
my
love me
case,
some tamales.
I had to explain to about 10 of my relatives in Ohio why I couldn't drive up there this Christmas. And my wife was mad at me yesterday. So I ended up doing Christmas dinner all by myself. So,
Uh,
but yeah, the worst part is explaining to my family why I can't come up to see them. But I mean, here's the thing, man. Well, some of you guys know I got hit by a drunk driver about 6 years ago, head on the highway. I
yeah,
got three ruptured discs and fibromyalgia and stuff. And over the last 3 weeks, I hurt myself 3 times, which didn't help. So yeah, we took a test drive the other day, about 2 days ago. Went 25 minutes to a Walmart and 25 minutes home, and I was miserable then, and I've been worse ever since. So it's like, yeah, if I can't do a 1 hour drive, I'm definitely not going to be able to do a 8.5 hour drive. So
Dang, bro.
that's how far Ohio for you.
yeah,
Well, you know what?
so
You know where
I'm,
8 hours
I'm,
would take me going
I'm
just due
looking.
south,
Yeah,
San Diego, in the same state. That's how big we are.
yeah, I know. California is like the same size as Japan. You probably know my wife's Japanese, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
California,
That's
California could become its own country.
Oh yeah,
Same
no
with
doubt.
Texas.
You want to hear something?
California and Texas. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, you want to hear something? There's a
What's
big
that?
push in California to separate from the United States.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It would kill the economy of the United States.
Well, California has one of the richest economies on the planet, so it
Yeah.
would be good for them.
We're
Yeah.
either fifth, sixth, or seventh, depending on and
Yeah.
uh, our sales. And right now, our our farmers are not too happy
Yeah.
with the trade embargo.
Oh boy. I don't know, man. Why are we in this mess? I mean,
You know what it is?
we have a great country. We ought to be able to sort this shit out.
Well, part of it is that, and I hate to say this, but I've seen some of our voting rights,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
regress. We have United Citizens United, where the corporations are now individuals. We
Right.
have people from both sides of the party don't like their party. Let
Right.
alone each other.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying, do away with the parties, man, or else at least make 20 of them or make one. I mean, it shouldn't just be.
I mean, really, we should have at least five.
Can't
I
just
mean,
be one
two.
against another.
Obviously, the two-party system obviously is not working.
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
I can tell you right now, in Italy, they have five. England has three, four, and they sometimes dissolve. Even Israel, they have the Likud party, they have the Orthodox party, and they have issues like
Right. And
nuts.
one of them did a do-over, right?
Yeah, you know how many
Like,
times? You know how many
yeah,
times? If you don't have
that
the
that
voter,
didn't work out right. Let's do it again.
yeah, I just say we need to enforce the rules that have always been there and not go back and take away
Right.
the rules that we had, the laws that should be enforced. Let's
Yeah,
enforce
but
the rules and don't take away everybody. Like, for example, a corporation shouldn't say, I'll pay for $1 million to your cooperation, to your
Yeah.
election, and
Hell
you
no.
give me whatever I want.
yeah,
No,
right. Yeah, I'm with
That's
you,
why the
man.
Constitution, right? We the people. It starts that way.
Well, it's not like it's a new thing. I mean,
Oh no.
one of Obama's thing during the first run for president said, "I will not have any what do you call those folks? Lobbyists in my administration." And obviously that wasn't right. He
He
also
did.
said,
He did.
Well,
yeah, of course. And he
yeah,
also said all genetically modified organisms will be labeled.
yeah, but
Well, yeah,
he forgot the Republican and Democratic Party, who are part of the corporate world,
right,
didn't agree with him.
right,
He can't make the law; he can only enforce it or execute it, I should say. And
right.
people forget about that. And
Yeah.
I remember when he got elected, uh, Mitch McConnell said he's going to be a one-term president. I'm going to make sure that happens. It didn't happen.
Never happened.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is, even George Bush and his dad said no new
Right,
taxes, no lobbyists. They didn't. It
right,
didn't happen then.
Nope.
right.
I voted for the daddy Bush. It
Yeah,
pissed
I
me
did
off.
too. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, these guys say stuff, and maybe they mean it in their hearts, but the problem is with this two-party system, it's never going to happen. I mean,
Well, it's just like I was watching a documentary on Ronald Reagan, and they were investigating something, and I wish I kept that in mind, but they were investigating something with the FDA, and
wow,
they were investigating some corporations, but they laid off all of a sudden. The Justice Department laid off, the FDA laid off, and all of a sudden it was suggested that it was I know what it was. It was the PTL club. Remember him, Jimmy Baker?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
He was being investigated for laundering money and embezzlement,
right,
and he started to he got convicted. He got sent to prison, but his first sentence was 25 years, and then he got out in 5.
right,
Yeah.
And it wasn't a pardon like that. It's just that they found a loophole, and
yeah,
then they're investigating him again for that place where they had like amusement park, but it was more of a PTL theme to it.
right,
It was on 2020 last Friday. Anyway, the guy got out of it, and he was being interviewed by Jimmy Baker, little Jimmy Baker, and somehow that they found out that the Christian right, I can forget his name too, the one who took over PTL when Jim Baker went to prison. I forget his name.
yeah. I can't remember either. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, then they were investigating them. Then Reagan sort of courted the evangelical Christians, and they voted him in again, and
Right.
that's when everything got dropped. So there was not a they insinuated a connection. They couldn't prove it, but the DOJ stopped investigating PTL when Reagan
Yeah.
came to office, when he was courting
Go
the
figure.
evangelical vote.
I was only about 10 or 12 back then, so I don't really remember the
Uh,
Reagan.
I was in my 30s then.
No, it's sad though, that our well, like we said before, our two-party system doesn't work. I mean,
Well,
Nope.
it's just like I grew up in a different era where truth was hard to take. Like when I was reading about California history, where people would come from the east and they would make them Mexican citizens before California became a state in 1850. They had to reason the war was on is because they said it wasn't because of gold found in
right.
Sutter's Mill, but it's kind of hard to ignore the fact that that the history also says that the Spanish missions converted the Indians by force, not because they wanted to become Catholics.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the same thing that this is the only one-sided history to it. When I have a point to make when people say we need to do reparations for Black people. I agree they need reparations, but what about the American Indian who lost every piece of land and segregated to bounties on their head for scalps?
Yeah, well, you're preaching to the choir. My grandma was half Mohawk Iroquois, so
Oh,
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. So I always say, okay, fair is fair. I mean, even the Japanese that were American citizens, my dad grew up with them. He went to go fight them in the war.
Yeah,
And when Pearl Harbor got bombed, all of a sudden, anybody who was Japanese, even though they were born here, raised here,
I know.
and 2 or 3 generations of Japanese, all of a sudden they became the enemy.
Right, and got locked up. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like we
that's
should have put
crazy, man.
one guy who was really pissed off and he was Japanese American. He said, "Well, come we didn't put the Italians in concentration camps, and why didn't we put the Germans in concentration camps?"
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with him, really. I mean, especially Germans. I mean, Germans were against us as well.
Oh,
Why?
did you see the history books on the Bundestag in
Yeah,
Germantown, Pennsylvania? I mean,
yeah.
they invited Hitler to the United States. His
I grew up
propaganda.
in Africa there, so
What was
yeah.
the word that they used? Because I don't think it was concentration camps. It was like
Oh,
some other word,
they call it
internment or something.
internment camps.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, internment means prison.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I love you, but
Mhm.
I'm not leaving yet. But my phone's beeping at me and my headset is beeping at me. So if I get gone, it's not because I don't love you. It's
Oh yeah,
because
no problem.
my technology will not cooperate. So
Right on, brother.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I know how that
just
goes
wanted to say
sometimes.
that ahead of time, just
Good
in
night,
case.
brother. I
No,
mean,
I'm not leaving yet. I'm not
yeah.
No,
leaving yet. But
but in
if
the
it
back,
happens,
yeah.
If it happens, good night.
But something people in all good conscience, I mean, even if they're a Trump supporter, um, or not, they really have to search deep down in their heart how the future is gonna, because they found more evidence of certain things that other people that were surrounding Trump that helped support some of the things that he did or didn't should have done or whatever their point is. But I remember when I can't believe in my lifetime there was 3 impeachments.
Me
Um,
I
too.
know, right?
Holy cow.
I said,
Believe me,
okay, we got
I'm with you.
Nixon. Only reason why he didn't get impeached because he resigned before they sent the articles of impeachment
Right.
to the Senate. And then you got Clinton for having an extramarital affair, and the only reason he got impeached was because he lied under oath. And
Yeah.
then we have
I did not have sex with that woman.
yeah, I know. And
It depends on what the definition of is.
or even what
Right.
Oral's not because he didn't participate. Yeah, right. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
hey, Phil guy, how you doing?
Just because I flopped it out doesn't mean I participated.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I told my friends I appreciate Mr. Trump being in office, and they go, "Why?" Well, think about it. If people didn't start waking up to the fact that they lost their rights by not participating, it's their fault, nobody else's.
That's true.
Because I
Yeah.
had a union boss one time when I used to work for, and I was a shop steward, and he said one time, um, something about participating or the lack of, and all of a sudden, 10,000 guys start losing their jobs because the companies were back in the 80s, Continental Market, Foodland, all these Vons, all these stores that were in California were closing down because of economic issues. And all of a sudden you see, 200, 300 guys calling, the union office a day. What can I do to get a job? I want to go across the county line. Well, you can't cross the county line because that's another union. And they tried coming towards my job. And that was in
Right.
1981. And the store was closed for another 5 years. And I got a pension on it because of that rule, you know? And so I learned that if you don't participate and you complain, you have nothing to say. Phil Guy, no, he didn't get trolls. What happened was that he didn't want to interrupt our conversation, and he killed his stream. He didn't tell us, so he had to go to sleep.
Guys, my Bluetooth just pooped out on me, so I'm gonna go in and try to get my other one and see if I can jump back in.
Okay, we'll wait for you.
Rock on, brother.
The pay pop. When does your son get out?
Well, his next parole opportunity is 1 year from today.
Oh,
December of 2020, he goes up for another. Even then, he still might not get out, but he goes up for an evaluation if he
is he
doesn't
going to school?
in prison.
Yeah.
No, he's signed up for. They have a. It's a. What is it? A meat facility, a butcher. Or it's like a. What do they call them?
Trade school.
Slaughterhouse.
Oh, okay.
Right across from the prison. So he's signed up for that. He could go over there and work there, bank all his money so when he gets out, he has something to do. You know, I mean,
Does he have a high school diploma?
He has a GED.
Does he have an AA degree in like community college?
Nope, just a GED, and then he went straight to prison on his 18th birthday, which was about 5 years ago.
Mm.
So
well, my wife sits on. Well, she works at the prison system, and sometimes she sits on parole hearings because they have to have staff trained on hearings and procedures and protocol. And she does sometimes the transfers for beds and transfers to other state facilities. So she's really knowledgeable about California, but she's always, she kind of knows why they're denied. And part of it is their schooling. If you can get your son to get his AA degree, besides his,
you can do that inside.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know about Idaho, but if he has a year, I tell him to sign up for classes. There's whole tons of classes.
Yeah, they do have an upholstery. They have an upholstery program.
There you go. Tell him to take as many classes to keep him out of the yard, and out of his cell.
Exactly.
He'll do a lot better. And from what my wife says, a lot of them guys, they're like they have a job in the evening. They have they go to school in the morning, and they go to trade school in the afternoon. And there's like they don't get back into the cell until 10 o'clock, or special permission on certain jobs. But hey, anything that keeps them busy, not out of the loop, you know what that means?
Exactly. Out of trouble.
Yeah. And not messing with anybody who's own business or inside business or outside business. As long as he's doing that, and the officers, they'll back him up about how he goes to class every day, he does this, he does that. Because sometimes the officers are the ones that observe things that prevents him from getting out.
Yeah,
so you might want to talk to him next time you get a chance to tell him, hey, stay busy, whatever you can. Don't stay in your cell. Don't mingle with your co-inmates, and
don't go to the poker table. Don't go.
Yeah, not even the yard. If you can stay in the yard,
I know
that's where you get the trouble most, in the yard or in the cafeteria.
I'm gonna tell him. Yeah. I appreciate that.
No problem. But my wife always talks about it when she comes home.
He wants to go to that upholstery college, but I didn't know you can get an associate's degree in there.
Oh yeah. Or
do they still have to pay?
No, they don't.
Man, I'm gonna tell him about that.
Over here at the state prison my wife works at, they have automotive, both collision, auto body paint, automotive mechanics. They have welding, carpentry. They have upholstery.
They got welding too over here.
Hey, welding in this state,
you can make $5
an hour.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna talk to him. I mean, he pretty much already knows all of this. He's been in there for 5 years, so.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna tell him.
Well, that's another thing too. Is he's been that long? He should have been taking maybe he wasn't qualified. Maybe his status didn't allow him to. But
Yeah, he just barely got moved to the new spot where they can let him have a job. So
that's probably the other reason too.
he did get in a lot of fights.
Is he a big kid?
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him. I mean, he got in trouble for getting new tattoos also while he was in there. So
Yeah, see, that's gonna hurt his chances.
exactly. But he's not a mean man. He's not a tough guy. He doesn't try to mess with people. But if they mess with him, watch out.
Yeah. It's just that when he gets out, a lot of people, well, in California, I don't know about back in Idaho, but you can tell which are prison tattoos.
Yep, exactly. He ain't got no swastikas or none of that crap, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean gang affiliation.
Yeah, he's not messed around with any of that. So he just likes his ink.
Well, like some place, like I heard that not Chick-fil-A. Is it Chick-fil-A or is it In-N-Out?
I love both of them, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's In-N-Out. They don't allow kids to have tattoos on their arms.
Oh yeah, and yep, there's a bunch of companies like that. So he wants to be a upholsterer or a framer or work in the meat factory. I don't know.
Well, I worked in the meat department for like 3 months, just wrapping meat.
Yeah.
If you're used to cold, that's fine, but cold don't like me at all.
I love the cold.
And especially when your fingers get wet and all the meat, and you smell like meat, blood all the time. Ugh.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not the choice job.
Yeah, but if it's a job that pays well and he likes it, tell him to stick with it. Let him go for it.
Hell yes.
Yeah. He's gonna stay with you when he gets out?
No, he's going to his grandparents on his mom's side.
And where's that? How far from you?
Only about 20 minutes. Across the bridge.
So you're able to keep an eye on him then too.
Yeah, we're best friends. Either way, no matter what, I'm by his side. So
yeah,
hope he does well.
Well, I pray for him.
Yeah, we got a long time before that happens.
Yeah, just be prepared when it does happen, though.
I'm prepared.
I know you, Popzilla. You're ready for him. There was a saying in my neighborhood. We had the good and the bad. We had the dealers, and we had the how should I put this? Leave it to Cleaver kind of neighborhood.
Yeah,
we had the bad kids too, and they were older, and I used to see them, doing some things that I didn't tell my parents, and I used to hang around with them. But as soon as they started doing something, I knew that if I got in trouble with them, my dad would kick my ass from one end of Sunday to the next.
Yeah.
So I stayed away because he used to tell me as a kid. I said, if you're going to be a gangbanger, you're going to be a gangbanger. If you hang around with a bunch of people that want to have a good life and not worry about the next guy,
that's right.
You just stay away from it. And I said, come on, Dad, how do you get away from this? You can't even get away from this. And I found out if you just walk away. And I found out, how hard it is to walk away from a situation that gets you in trouble?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I was there.
And I'm going, dang.
I had my times in court when I was 14. But I never made it to juvie. He went to juvie when he was 12. He went to juvie several times, but there was nothing we could. I mean, it's not like we weren't telling him to do the right thing.
Right.
He just wouldn't listen, man.
So close.
He thought we were too stupid and he was too smart.
Yeah. I made a story up one time where my son, well, actually, it's based on a true story. He got a tattoo on his wrist, and he was working late at night, and he had a 3.95 grade point average when he was in high school. Smart kid, very diligent about his work. And one night, it's 2:00 in the morning, and he's not been having a good night's sleep. And I said, and he's getting hard to get up in the morning. So I told him, "Hey, it's time for you to go to bed." As he turned, I saw his wrist. And I said, "What's that on your wrist?" I said, he goes, "Oh, it's a tattoo." When did you get a tattoo? Well, I had it for a month now. You didn't say nothing. Well, I didn't see it until now. Why come you didn't tell me a month ago? Well, you would have told me no. Well, after you got the tattoo, how's that going to make it? So I said, okay, put everything away and come into the living room. And my son goes, "Oh, come on, Dad, it's 2 o'clock in the morning." "Oh, now it's 2 o'clock in the morning? Get your butt over into the living room." So we talked about 4 o'clock in the morning, and my wife comes in, and as soon as I asked him a question, he answered, "Mom said it was okay." My wife, yeah, my wife went ballistic.
Oh man.
I said, "You're telling me Mom let you?" And then she just grabs him by the back of the head, just bam.
Yeah.
"When did I ever tell you to do that? Oh, blah, 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 this and that." I said, "Linda, calm down. I'll take care of it. I've already been talking to him about it in 2 hours." So I made him stay up, and I told him to make us breakfast. Since you wanted to be an adult, you're up. We're going to go shower, get ready for work. You make us breakfast. "But Dad, I got to go to school. I got tests." I said, "Hey, guess what? You're now adult. You're 16 years old. You're supposed to be 18 in order to get your own tattoo. And if you're under 18, you got to get a parent signature. But since you've made 2 steps and then you lied about your mom using her permission, you go make us breakfast." So he made us breakfast.
Nice.
He went to school. He came back home early. He said, "What are you doing here? You got study hall." "Yeah, but I was tired. I didn't feel like it." "Sorry. Go cut the grass and wash the car." That was what I was planning to do. You want to be an adult? He did it.
And pay the cable bill too while you're at it.
Well, we told him. He said, "Hey, do you think we sit around when we come home? Your mom, as soon as she gets home at 5 o'clock, the first thing she does is change her clothes, and she goes and makes dinner.
Exactly.
She doesn't stop.
Can't.
If you make a decision like that, you're paying for it." And then he says, "Okay, I'll make dinner. And then what's my punishment? I know you're going to get me grounded." I said, "Yeah, well, we'll talk about it after dinner. After you do the dishes." "What? I got to do dishes too?" "Well, let me put it this way. If you can get a tattoo on your own, you can do the dishes on your own."
What?
So I kept piling on.
It's either do the dishes or pay the rent. You pick.
Yeah, and I kept putting it on more and more. And so after he did his dishes, and we sat down at the TV, turned the TV off, and he says, "Okay, let's talk." And he goes, "Okay, what's my punishment?" I said, "What do you think it should be?" He goes, "I know it's going to be more than 2 weeks." "Oh, hell yes." And then he goes, "Okay, a month." I shook my head. My wife said, shook her head, no. We kept going and going and going and going.
Kidding.
And we got up to the semester, and he goes, "Okay, this is October."
I don't remember taking it down, but I did.
I hear you, Seven. It's all good, man. If your thing's dying, hey, we'll catch you on the next one, brother. Good talking to you.
Same here. No worries, Seven. So to make a long story short, I told him until he finishes high school, finishes college, gets his degree, gets a job, get his own apartment, his own insurance, his own car, then you get off being grounded.
Dang.
You know how long I got him on being grounded? And I mean, every time he had to go somewhere, I had to find out who he's with, where he's going with, and a few times he was trying to hang up with a tagging crew, and it's like a semi gang, but they did go around town.
Spray paint and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told him, I says, "If I find out you did it one time, I'll turn your ass in." And he didn't, but I had to talk to one of his friends that was the head guy. I told him, I said, "Don't worry about the cop. Don't worry about the judge."
Don't worry about the cop. I'm the one you got to worry about.
Yeah, I didn't want my son to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so actually, he didn't move out from 16. He didn't move out until he got his job at 24. That's when he moved out. Alden, my friend, how you doing, sir?
Alden Davis, what up, brother?
Anyway, so I tell my students that story. They don't think it's true. And then I'd take a picture of my son with showing his tattoo and pointing to it. I said, I wouldn't want to be your son. I said, look, something. Right now, he's a good kid. He's always been a good kid. It's because I was a hard ass on him.
Exactly. I would love to be your son.
Yeah. So, and then right now he's 30. He's living with us now because he moved back from Missouri.
Right on, man.
He didn't like it. He didn't like Missouri that much. I mean, his friends, yeah. His job, it didn't work out the way he thought it would be. You know.
I just chat on anymore.
Yeah, for a minute or two, Alden, that's fine. Thank you for saying hi. Okay, 7. You take care, sir. We'll talk again.
Night, brother.
I mean, I've got some friends that I even got relatives that are locked up. You know.
Yep. I got half my relatives are law enforcement. I've got the other half, which is all criminals. You never know.
Yeah. But you know something, I really, not that because I'm a teacher, but because I was in sports and and I had a really good education. I think that's what got me not going the wrong direction.
Yeah, that Catholic school probably came in handy.
Well, it taught a lot of value, but I think it was more of the scientific and they kept me
Yeah, just
focused.
a better education system than the public.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I try to do that with my kids. I try to make my lessons interesting and engaging and relevant.
yeah, right
Now,
on.
why are you learning this? Okay, I just used it the other day to look at YouTube and look at the ohm meters and how to voltages and amps and all that stuff. And I didn't know that stuff. I read it, looked at the video. Now both of it clicks.
Yeah,
So. See the message from Seven Wonders pop?
what's that?
There's a message for you.
Me as well, Mr. Pop.
Yeah.
7 Wonders. Good night, brother. I'll see you on the next one.
Excuse me.
It is getting late.
No, it's not. I'm not sleepy. I'm just lazy because all we did today was watch TV and fall asleep when we did and we wanted to. And
That's all you're supposed to do on this day.
Well,
Yeah.
getting older and trying to keep up with these young kids. Even what's great is last Christmas Eve on the 24th, we're sitting around talking and the kids go, "How do you guys do it?" And I said, "You don't have any kids, but yet you do this, do that, you cook and clean and this and that." And we got kids and we barely got enough time. I said, "Well, that's just it. You just have to learn and plan and it's just
you have to get her done.
Yeah, you have to get it done. There's no other ways. And just think of our parents when they had 5 kids or 13 grandkids.
Oh man,
I don't see how they did it. I don't. I'm amazed that my dad did what he did.
Me too.
But it's always been good though. If you don't know the bad times, you won't know what good is.
Yeah, it's black. It's yin and yang. There wouldn't be no white if there wasn't no black.
It's like today. It's a good start of a new year. I want to do some. I made enough money to pay the bills, but I paid my house off. That's a good thing. Now I got a part-time job that I'm successful enough that they offered me a position doing the census at $20 an hour. I'm gonna take it for 8 weeks.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's more than I make, and I don't. Dang, I've been at this job for 20 years. So, shoot.
What's going on, man? Why don't I see?
We hear you, 7.
You hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
No way.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Oh,
Loud and clear too.
That's cool.
Did you plug
Yeah,
in?
my both of my Bluetooths died, so yeah, I thought you couldn't hear me, but I appreciate all you guys. You know,
Same here.
Same here, brother.
I mean, we've even. I think I got one video where it was just me and Pop just talking for like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and I didn't think it'd be that long of a conversation, but it turned into a good one.
Yes,
And
sir.
we've been talking ever since.
that's
So,
pretty
I
cool.
think the first time I met you, I asked you if that was a cannabis nug on your avatar.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's the army, brother. Your dad's insignia.
yeah,
Right on.
I'm thinking about putting that on my arm,
That's awesome, bro.
but not just a tribute to my dad, but all the men and women and the families that served under that patch because of the war and how they all sacrificed and still sacrificed after
Yep,
they came home.
exactly.
And then I want to get some warrior bands. I don't know. It's just that's part of my connection to history because my dad was in World War II. My grandpa was in World War I as a draftee. Didn't get
Wow.
in, but all my cousins that are older than I am all went into the service. And they skipped over me in Vietnam and then went to my younger cousins. So I like history. That's because it tells me the truth. It finally comes out,
Yep. And it's bound to repeat itself.
Oh my God, I hope not. Not World War II.
Oh, it's gonna be World War 3, 4, 5, 7, 20.
I hope not.
Oh man, it's just as long as there's religion on this planet, it's gonna be war.
No. If it was communistic, not religion, it's more of a point of view that has to be.
The infidels must die. So there you go.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like if we have another war, it's probably going to be based on the Second Amendment.
The cops coming to take all our guns. Or what?
Yeah. Good luck.
and I think it's not that. I think it's going to be more of our rights of fair liberty and justice for all. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the bigger picture.
Justice for some.
Yeah. It's just like right now. There's some people, like in Florida, they want to give prisoners their voting rights, and I kind of have a iffy feeling about that. And then they want to make sure that where you have a company that can dictate where you live, how much you live, and that's like sharecropping. That's not going to happen. Not in my.
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. Because I remember a friend of mine back in high school. I don't know, probably you guys probably weren't old enough to remember, but back on November 4th, 1976, I think,
I
where
was one.
or 79, where Reagan was supposed to be running for president, and Jimmy Carter was the president then, and the embassy in Tehran was taken over by the Iranian students, and they captured so many Americans inside of the embassy that for 444 days, those American embassy workers were held captive. And as soon as Reagan got elected, they released him because they thought he might go in there and just blow the crap out of him because he was a cowboy.
A cowboy.
Yeah, a wild cowboy. I remember that kind of phrasing.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but it was.
Hey, he kind of was, really.
Because he was an actor in cowboy movies.
Right.
Right.
So I don't know what's going to really happen because a lot of things that in a lot of different. See, nowadays I don't think it's black and white. I think it's more of who's got money and who doesn't have money, or who has a place to live in properly. And the rules have changed. It's not fair game anymore. I
Yeah,
think that's going to be the war.
exactly. That's a good point.
Because I mean, I know people. Well, Pop, you know better than anybody else. I know people who are working on the same job. Working in certain industries. Like if I stayed in groceries, I wouldn't make the money I'm making now. Like
Yeah,
a grocery clerk, or anybody who stays in a job they can't be trained out of, or don't want to get out of it, because of the comfortability, the challenge.
comfortability. That's it right there.
Yeah. If I didn't stop at 40 and thought, okay, I'm in a corporate position, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? And I said, no. What do you want to do? Well, I'm always training people to do my job. As a box boy, I train people to be box boys.
Yeah,
Grocery clerk and teaching people how to be a cashier, stocking, ordering milk, ice cream, deli, meat, liquor, running a store, budgets, all that stuff.
you're always training your replacement.
Exactly, because you don't want to ever leave a store if you had to. Somebody didn't know what they were doing, and you don't want to come back to a mess. So I kept doing that. I said, you know something? Training is teaching, teaching is training. So I said, I'm going to be a teacher. And I went back to school. It took me 3 years, after doing double jobs, working full time and going to school full time. It was hard, but man, if it wasn't for my wife, and the one thing that I regret doing is that my kids grew up when I was going then for 3 years. I missed some of their birthdays. I mean, I was there, but I didn't really participate. And
Sent order wants to be a stripper. A 300-pound hairy one.
That's
This guy.
crazy.
You're not getting my dollar, Sent order.
Shit,
That's fine.
I wouldn't have to get 50 cents. We can make change. Oh, brother. Wow. But, things if they don't change both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party,
Yep.
any party is going to hurt.
I hear that. We need to do away with the whole party system, in my opinion.
Or at least add one that can be equal to both of them. Or they share the revenue so that all three of them have an equal chance. And, the one thing I would like to see is no lobbyists.
Exactly.
That I
That,
think
that
that'd be
shouldn't even be a thing. You can't pay any government official for any. You can't contribute. They have to run on their own money.
yeah.
Indeed. I'm 100% with you guys. But my last chance phone is about to die, so
Okay.
Rock on 7. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll talk again.
love you guys. Thank you. I enjoyed talking with you.
Same here, sir. Same here.
Right on, brother.
Hey, Stan Horder, the other thing too is that Democrats and Republicans do what they want because we don't say nothing to them. They don't listen to us.
Exactly. It's all pre-planned. It's already done. It's already said and done before we even vote. They know what's going on.
But we'll see we'll see about this next. I hear a lot more people that didn't vote this last election are going to vote this election.
Well, I voted in the primaries for Bernie Sanders, and Hillary done stole the freaking whole thing away.
Well, I didn't like the DNC what they did, where that Barbara Brazil and that Susan, she was a representative down in South Florida, where they were actually trying to pick Sanders and not him. Oh no, not Sanders. They were gonna do something with Sanders and Warren, so they wouldn't both be candidates for or something like that about their emails. And Donna Brazil actually resigned her position in the DNC because she got caught. So it goes both ways. I mean, I don't like the Republicans, the shenanigans they're doing, but I also don't like, and being truthful, the Democrats do the same thing.
Yeah, they're all in the same party. I mean, it's basically this. Just a popularity contest.
Set Hoarder says that he'll talk to us later. If I'm off tonight, I'm off tonight. If you're on, I will see you around. I agree 100%. Yep. 110%. Yep. Okay. I'm kind of confused. Tonight? Oh, he means today's tonight? Or right now?
Right now. I don't know. I'm confused too.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because it's late.
Yeah, it's about 3:00 a.m. over here.
It's 2:01 here.
It's early for me though, because I work second shift.
Yeah, I is that like the 10 to 12, 4 to 10 or 4 to 12? I mean,
Yep, anywhere in there.
hey, Michael Mercer, how you doing? Yeah, I've never liked swing shift. I'd rather work graveyard or first shift.
Yeah, I'm not a first shift person myself. I don't like getting up at 5.
Yeah, mine start. Let's see, mine started at 4, and I had to be at work at 5. My first delivery was at 5:15, and I went strong until 8 o'clock when the store opened. I had to set up the tills also.
Oh
Should have been my boss's job.
exactly.
He comes in at 8 o'clock. Why don't you get there at 7?
I know.
He was salary. I was hourly.
That's why you don't have to get there.
Well, I thought if your salary doesn't matter how many hours you put in, you can come in an hour early and set up the tills.
But it doesn't work out well for him. He gets the same if he comes in at 10, if he comes in at 7.
I still miss that kind of job though, working in a grocery store. I mean, it was 90% female clientele and 90% male. That's the only thing is competition.
There you go.
And you have probably half and half going to your clientele, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody and their dog comes in. It's a restaurant, man. So you got you got the farmers that come in.
Early morning.
Yeah, all morning, sit there for 3 hours drinking coffee, talking shit to each other, and then you got the dairymen that come in on the noon hour. You got the the full gambit.
Are you guys a 24-hour restaurant?
Nah, we close about 9 or 10 at night.
Oh, okay.
It's too small of a town to be a 24. We wouldn't get no money from the middle of the night, man.
Oh, okay.
I think our population is about 700 in my town.
So you're not close to like a freeway or a highway?
We are on the highway, actually, but it's the highway that goes from California, Nevada to Boise. So it's mostly everybody's just passing through.
Does the 80 go to your state?
84, I-84 is our main interstate, so okay. I don't know about 80.
Yeah, 80 starts in San Francisco, goes through Sacramento, and then goes to Nevada.
Oh no, that doesn't come here then.
Okay.
But once you get to the eastern edge of Nevada, that's the only way to come into Idaho is through our road. So anybody coming from Nevada or Oregon, they have to come through our town to get to Boise.
Have you ever heard of a restaurant called Black Bear Diner? It's a big chain in California. It started, I don't know where, but they have large size plates. And this year I had my first chicken fried steak.
Oh man, I love them.
I had
we do serve them too. Does it come with gravy on top?
Yep.
All right.
And biscuits and beer battered fries and coleslaw.
Hell yes. All right.
I thought it was kind of strange to call something chicken fried steak, and I thought it was kind of odd.
You didn't know if it was going to be chicken or steak.
Huh? Yeah. I never ordered it. I mean, as a kid growing up, we never really went to restaurants. That's one. Two, we never went to Mexican restaurants, so we always ate at home. We went to Denny's because we traveled, and that was breakfast. Bacon, eggs, and hash browns.
The Grand Slam.
Yeah, typical food. But someone tell me biscuits and gravy. Never had that before until my wife started making it.
Hell yes.
I never had shrimp until I started, getting older and adult.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had shrimp all my life. I don't know. My mom was a good cook.
Yeah, my mom was a good cook. She's still alive, but she doesn't cook, for a long time, for the last 13 years because she's been sick, mentally depressed and she doesn't feel like doing anything. So, but man, she used to make the best anything you could think of: cakes, pies, canning peaches, canning cactus. I mean, she was a gardener, horticulturist. She a seamstress. She can make.
Meatloaf.
That's one thing that I did try. You want to hear something funny? One of my dad's
Yeah.
sisters, my Aunt Ramona. One time I stayed with her at her house, and she made me breakfast, and she sent me to school because her house was just down the block from my school where I was going at. And she said, "You want breakfast?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "How do you like your eggs?" I said, "Scrambled." And so she brought the plate to me, and there's scrambled eggs there. And right next to it was a thick piece of bologna. I've never had bologna with my eggs. And to this day, every time I have a bologna and egg a breakfast, I always think of my Aunt Ramona.
Hell yeah.
But that stick bologna was good. I didn't think I think it's different than the packaged bologna.
The fried bologna, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot different than the stick one. And there's one package that I buy. It's got the plastic rim around it. Have you
Yes.
seen?
The red string.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'll put two of them together in a bread, and I'll fry them both, and I'll toast the bread, and oh man, it's so good that way.
Yep. I hear you.
And sometimes, this is not a lie, I'll put an egg between the two slices of bologna.
Hell yes. Can't go wrong there.
No, and I'll cook other things too. Like I'll do a smoked tri-tip chicken. I've tried ribs.
I like making chili myself.
No,
I make a mean chili.
Oh, I was going to say, see, when you say chili for me, it means like a salsa.
No, I mean chili with beans, meat, seasonings, onions, tomatoes.
Do you put molasses in it too?
No. Well, at least I haven't. Is it a good idea?
For me, I don't like molasses. It's too sweet.
I don't do sweet chili. I like the spicy.
I'll have I'll see my wife put in paprika. I've seen her put cayenne pepper. I've seen her put regular jalapenos, cut up with the seeds in it.
Hell yes.
That to me is chili.
Yep. That's what I do. Put the hamburger meat, or you can use steak sliced up, carne asada, if you need.
Yeah. There's a meat what we call here in California skirts. Ever see that?
Oh yeah.
Real thinly, you chop them. You fry them first, and then you chop them after they're cooked.
Yep.
And you put that in your tortas or your gorditas.
See?
Oh man,
I know. Huh?
if I was a Mexican, I'd turn Mexican just because the food was so good.
We call that fajitas.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Put the chopped up bell peppers and the onions.
Oh yeah. I was watching a channel that we just found the other day. It was cooking with Maria Tavares from Mexico, and it's all in Spanish, right? And we like to cook as close as we can to authentic, raw groceries. Hey,
Yeah.
Squad, he's hungry. I'm getting hungry myself right now.
Me too.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so we tried some of the recipes. My wife's gonna try one of them where she barbecues, not barbecues, she pan fries short pork ribs, and then puts this salsa that she made. It looks awesome, but it's chile de árbol. Chile de árbol is like the translation of the exact words is tree chili. They're short little things, and the old thing is that if it's thinner, the shorter, the hotter, the better.
Yeah.
If it's
Slice
long,
very small slices of meat.
Yeah. There was a chili that my father-in-law used to grow because he lived in Texas for a while. I mean, he was born in Texas and grew up in Texas, but when he's turned 18, he started following the crops in the United States. But he ended up in California after he got married back in Texas, where his mom and dad live. And he would bring Texas tree chili, and there were like no more than a half inch by maybe a quarter inch wide, and they were tiny little things. But man, when they're hot,
Yes.
when they're good.
Oh man, I imagine. I can smell it right now.
Oh yeah, I love cooking raw.
Yep.
How many cooks do you have in back
One.
per shift?
Yep. It's me or whoever. If I'm not there, it's some other guy. But there's only
Oh,
one. It's a very small grill corner, man. You got one grill about 4 feet, and you got one fryer with 2 baskets.
and you do both the breakfast and lunch and dinner on them on the same grill?
Yep.
Wow, you must clean it a lot.
Oh yeah. She's a good grill. She's spotless though. We keep her clean.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But
As a
yeah.
matter of fact, my nephew, he likes to cook a lot, and he found this grill that's 4 feet cast iron, and he had to cure it. He know how to cure the cast iron,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and it's smooth. I mean, it's almost like stainless steel.
Yep. That's how ours is, bro.
That's how clean it looks, right? The other
Yeah.
day he made a shrimp stir fry on this here. He just poured everything on there. We thought, oh, that's gonna be just junk he just put together, right?
Yeah.
No, it came out so good. He put noodles in there, and he put ramen, and he put uh, sprouts and shrimp. At last, 10 minutes later, it was ready to go. Done.
Yep. That's like a same thing. It's like a Mongolian barbecue, pretty much. You got
Oh,
those over there?
I've had that Mongolian beef.
Hell yes. They just throw everything on a flat iron, skillet, and then they just stir it around with wooden bamboo sticks or whatever. And then
Field guy says nap time for me. Have fun all. You too, field guy.
peace out, Phil Guy.
What's your favorite meal for if you had to have a meal for your birthday? What would you have for your meal?
I'm gonna go with meatloaf, mashed potatoes.
Wow. Mine would be sopis.
What's that?
It's a thick cornmeal torta about 4 inches in round. You pinch the sides, you put beans in it, chorizo, or any kind of meat you want. But my preference is chorizo. And then you put cabbage on top of it. You put a green salsa. You put Parmesan cheese on it. You put any kind of cheese you want, and you serve it that way. And
I do love some tortas.
tortas are good too. Oh my gosh, I had one the other day at a truck stop. I mean, a truck, food truck. Ones that parked on the side.
That's the best place to get them, bro.
Oh, heck yeah, they had it was carne asada, and I asked for a large one. I could not finish it, dude. I paid $100 for it, so I took the other home because I couldn't finish it.
We got one right across the street over here. The same thing, man. The taco truck. They got the best stuff, bro.
Really?
You got the tortas. The burrito is only $5 and it weighs like 10 pounds, bro.
Yeah. There's a place in Fresno called what's it called? Guadalajara's. And oh man, when you see people waiting in line to get inside, and so in this place, I mean, it's bigger than my kitchen. I mean, the food service is no bigger than my kitchen, and there are people waiting in line and they have a window on the outside to have orders to go.
Yep.
They're always busy, always.
Got that cilantro up in there. I love that flavor of what is it? What's that word? The pico de gallo.
Oh, pico de gallo? Yeah. Oh, that's good on hamburgers. I make my hamburgers always Mexican style with pico de gallo in it.
Hell yes.
Oh, forget the salt. Forget the tomato slices. Don't put me pickles. Give me salsa.
I hear you, bro.
There, and I just started eating Chinese food just in the last couple of years. I'll eat the brown rice, the fried brown rice with egg in it and ham. I'll eat that. But the sweet and sour pork, sweet and sour chicken,
I like that beef broccoli.
I'm not crazy about broccoli.
Man, if you get the Chinese beef broccoli, then you'll change your mind.
No. If you recommend it, Pop, I'll try it once at least.
Do yourself a favor, one time.
And my aunt made a recipe the other day. I should say the other day, but years ago. All it was cabbage, lemon juice, jalapenos, cilantro, onions, all mixed up as a salad.
Hell yeah, it sounds brilliant, man.
Oh man, I'm not crazy about vegetables, but when she put that, the dressing was just lemon juice. That was it.
Dang, that's
Lemon
awesome.
juice was the whole dressing, and I tell you, 0 calories, and it was tasteful.
That's health food.
Yeah, and healthy because there's no fat in it.
Yep.
Fire Squad said arroz con pollo.
I do love that one.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember here. I mean, I know what it is, but
what about that chile relleno?
Oh yeah, you could put it. That's like bell peppers.
Yeah, man. Is that is the eggs though, right? Chile relleno.
Oh, chile relleno. That means something on the inside. Yeah, you could probably because you can put meat in it, cheese in it, and then you cover it with egg.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Mom used to make that.
Shoot, I even now eat a raw chili on the side now.
Now you're going too far, man. Just that raw jalapeno. Eat it like an apple.
Yeah, because
even
the jalapenos nowadays they're not like they used to be.
I know, huh?
Now, if you eat a serrano, if you eat a Thai chili, okay, now you're talking about hot.
And what about a habanero?
Wouldn't dare even touch it.
That does look like a habanero on your avatar, also.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that if you eat enough chili, you say the next morning, "Come on, ice cream."
Yeah. Good times, man.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys deep fry your what do you call it?
Mushrooms?
Yeah. With egg batter?
No, we don't do it, but I do love me some deep fried mushrooms.
Yeah, I tried it the other day. It depends on the coating.
I like that tempura better.
Yeah, the other day someone was telling me that I should say the other day, I keep saying it that way, but I should say in the past, one of my coworkers, the teacher next to me in PE, he would have catfish, and he would marinate it overnight in mustard.
I hear where you're going with this, and I love it.
He'd take off most of the mustard off, and then he would deep fry it in tempura or a batter.
Hell yes.
And they're like, 1 inch size, bite size. And oh man, I don't like catfish, but that was the best catfish I ever had.
Yep. I hear you. Same thing with shark. I've had shark the same way, and man, so delicious.
You know what I like also? Halibut, blackened Cajun halibut.
Huh? I never had that one.
What it is? Well, I had it over at Zappa's over on Monterey Coast, in California, and the guy said that he would bring me a piece to taste it, and if I liked it, I could order the whole. He wanted to know if I wanted a full serving or half serving, and I said, "Oh, I better just have the half serving because if I don't like it, it's kind of pricey. It was like $35 for the fillet." And so I sat down and had the half fillet for $17.50. I could go wrong with it, right? Man, I should have ordered the full fillet. It was. Man. It's a good sized fish. It's not a trash fish.
Yeah.
And it's about 1.5 pounds. Not cooked yet. So it went down probably, I don't know. It was pretty small after, but a full one, oh geez, it was so good. And then they gave you a nice Caesar salad with it and some homemade bread, and some kind of it was a vegetable. I know that, but it was chopped up so fine, and it was just with lemon juice and cracked pepper over it. Oh, every time I go back, that's what I get. I'm gonna get something to drink because I don't want to eat something, but all talking about food made me hungry.
Go ahead, man.
I'll be right back.
Right on.
Okay, Pop, I'm back.
I'm here.
We
What'd
have,
you get?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
What'd you get to drink?
A&W root beer.
Nice.
Got some crackers, cheese, and salami.
What kind of cheese?
Jalapeno.
Pepper jack, baby. Hell yeah. Get her done.
Yep. I like things with flavor.
Me too.
My dad, as a kid, he used to tell me that he'd make root beer in the cellar. I wish I knew how.
Same as making regular beer, except you don't put no yeast in there.
Oh,
I've made my own beer since I was 18,
really?
and wine. Yeah, I'm a scientist.
Are you what do you call it?
Home brewer.
Yeah. Do you have like I've seen kids on TV that I've seen them use for beer.
Yeah, you can. That's one way to do it, or you can just buy bulk ingredients. You can just buy big bags of everything: malts, extracts, yeast, and then all it is water, yeast, and malt. That makes beer. So you can do the same thing with root beer. You just don't put the yeast, and you put the sugars. The yeast eats the sugars. So if you don't put the yeast, the sugar stays in, and then it makes it sweeter.
Cool. And how do you put the carbonation in it?
Well, there's two ways. Well, you do need yeast if you want to do it the regular way, where you can the yeast will produce gas automatically, and once your bottle is capped, that infuses the carbonation into your beer. Or you can just buy a CO2 tank and pump it straight in.
Do you make beer now?
No, I haven't for a while, but I do. I make mead. I got a couple of meads on the shelf right now, which is honey wine.
Uh-huh.
You ever had that? That's good stuff.
No.
Got a peach mead and a raspberry mead right now. So I could send you a sample if you're interested.
Oh, I tried one. Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'll send one. I got a. The older it gets, the better it is. So I got a 2017 bottle that I could ship you. It's pretty sweet though. I don't know. Do you drink wine at all?
No.
Because there's some people that don't like a sweet wine. They like the dry. But anyways, I don't know.
It's funny. It's really funny to say that because for my wife's 60th birthday, we're trying to give her a surprise birthday party. And about 90 people showed up. But I had to keep away from the house, so they can get ready. So I took her on a wine trail. She's into wines.
Right on.
Around my neighborhood, not my neighborhood, around my town, there's like 19 wineries.
Same here.
And so we started hitting one of them. My brother-in-law helped me out by saying, "Hey, I'll go with you guys." I said, "Oh, okay." So they came down. They picked us up. We went to all the wineries. And like I said, I don't drink wine, right? Well, I just wanted to taste them to participate, right? And they only gave you not even an inch.
Yeah.
Just enough to have, I guess, a swallow.
Then you're supposed to spit the rest out.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I got snockered. By the time we did all the wineries, some were we went to most of them, but some were closing because it was long in the day, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't get to all of them. But by the time I got to, they were giving us each 3 glasses of drink. That's 3 ounces.
Dang.
And then we went to 6 of them. Okay, that's more wine I've had in my whole lifetime.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, I was talking to the Lord real quick that day. So we got to the house, and I couldn't keep the camera steady because I was so plastered. Like I said, I don't do wine, but I sure got drunk on it. And maybe because I don't usually drink wine, it got to me faster.
Yeah. I got a tolerance up to the freaking sky, so I could do that.
Well, I used to drink, like Doonesbury Farm, but that was when
what's that?
You remember Doonesbury Farm?
Oh yeah. And then Strawberry Hill, Boone's, Mad Dog.
Oh, Mad Dog 2020. Oh, that was
Yeah, I've been there.
Hey, Pop, hang on. I heard something at my door. I want to make sure no one's trying to get in.
Go ahead, brother.
That was weird.
Nobody there?
No, but it sounded like someone's trying to door handle. That kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Dang. That would freak me out too.
Well, I have big double doors, but we've had a car across the street got their Land Rover, Range Rover. What is it? Range Rover? That English car?
Oh, I don't know. English car.
Yeah.
Might be a Land Rover then.
Land Rover?
I think Toyota makes a Land Rover.
Okay, then it's the Range Rover.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he got his window smashed out. It cost him $1,200 to get his window fixed.
Dang. Did they find him? Did they find out what happened? Or
No.
Dude?
No, not at all. Hey, Master Coin Hunter.
What's up, Massive? Everything's good.
Same here.
Just chit-chatting with the homies.
And Pop's one of my homies.
Yes, sir.
What are you using for your I hear a clicking sound. Is that your phone?
Every time if I want to talk, I push this button on my microphone. Then I push it again if I want to mute that, because I got a fan right here and it's loud. You hear that? A lot of people complain, turn your fan off. You're killing me. So I just keep muting it every time I'm not talking. But I'll just leave it on if you don't hear it, if it don't bother you.
I don't hear it. No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Right on.
As long as my crunching my food doesn't bother you too.
No, you're good, bro.
Oh, you know another thing I wanted to ask you?
What's that?
Do you like Japanese food?
Like name one thing. I don't know.
Sushi.
I've had one piece of sushi that I liked, but I've had like 10 pieces that I didn't like, so I don't know.
I
It depends. Yeah.
I just can't get into. I mean, the rice.
Love rice.
Well, I love rice too, but not white rice by itself like that. I have to put soy sauce on or something. You know.
Yeah, it needs to be salty or else.
Well, I like my next door neighbor when his daughter got married. For years and years, he's kept on telling me that when my daughter gets married or my son, I want to use your backyard. I said, okay. I wasn't expecting it, but he did. As soon as his daughter announced that she was engaged to this guy, he took my fence down. He put a full kitchen in my backyard.
That's awesome, man.
And I had nothing but Indian food for 7 days.
Oh man, you probably still got the smell in your yard, huh?
Oh man, if I wish I had still got the cooking though.
I heard that curry smell stays around. Well, if you cook inside with curry,
he doesn't cook in the house. He cooks in the garage.
Exactly. There's a reason.
Yeah. Okay, Fire Squad.
Peace out, Fire Squad.
Hey, I think I subscribed to you, so I'll be seeing you around.
Me too. I subscribe to everybody that ever came in here, except for Field Guy. He's an asshole. Just kidding, Field Guy. Calm down.
I don't think he's even here.
Okay.
I end up taking a nap.
There's 5 watching, so we don't know who's lurking.
That's true. Michael Mercer hasn't said very much, so he might be one of them.
What's up, Michael? Holla at your boy.
What are your plans today?
Nothing. I've got to work at 3, so I got about 2 more hours, then hit the sack. I've had 3 days off since Christmas Eve, so it's been a nice vacation.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm off until January 8th.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys got the winter break.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But today's my last day of lounging around.
What do you got to do?
Yard work, clean my garage out, go to my dad's ranch and clean up there.
Nice.
I kind of like it. It's out in the country. I do my work. No one bothers me.
Yep. That's how every day is over here. Out in the country. We've got about 700 people in my town, so, and I know all of them. It's pretty cool.
They're all local born, or some from out of town, or
we do have more and more Californians coming in every day, but mostly, for the most part, everyone that's been here has been here since I was in high school. I know everybody. Everybody knows everybody. It's not like we all know if someone's not from here if we see you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You ain't from around here, are you? You might hear that at the grocery store.
Yeah. But here in our town, we know the last name has been here for a while.
Yeah.
Because when this town was when I was a kid, you can walk across town in 5 minutes. Now you can't do that now.
Yeah.
But now, if you're not associated with an old name, um, like my family's been in this town for shoot. First time recorded, my grandfather was 1904.
Dang.
Yeah.
So everybody knows your family.
Yeah. Or they're related to me because my dad had 13 brothers and sisters.
Dang.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the average size of each family member had 5 kids. So what's that make? 13 times 5 is 65 uncles, 65 cousins.
Good God.
Yeah, I've got a first cousin. She's the oldest of the oldest sister of my dad. She was born in 1912. And her daughter was born in 1929.
Wow.
That makes her 90. And she's still alive. My first cousin.
We got a few 90-year-olds around here too. They still drive, come have coffee every day and chit chat with the fellas. Freaking 90. There was one guy, 98. He just barely passed, but he was 98, still driving here every day, having coffee with the fellas.
Wow. My my aunt just passed away last Saturday, and she was 90. My dad's last sister.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, but
She
she
had
was
she had a good run.
she was a sister, a religious sister. Um, she was a sister of the Saint Joseph Lacondrites. I'm right. I'm sorry, I didn't say it right. Carundalite. Yeah, there you go.
If I ever make it past 60, I'll be lucky. So,
Well, I'm praying for you, Popzilla. I want you around past 60.
uh,
In good hold on. In good health, in good standing.
okay, I appreciate you.
No problem. I pray. When I go to mass, I know some people say, why go to church? Why go to mass? And I don't know. It's not that I'm that overly religious. It's just a comfort. Something that I do on Sunday. Because if I don't get it for church, I don't get it for nothing.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
it gives me something to do and something to meet people, see people, and get my old friends.
maybe I should start that. I'm kind of a shut in.
Believe it or not, I was introvert for a very long time.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm,
what
and I'm really uncomfortable with my surroundings. And to this day, I mean, I'm 63 years old, and I still feel like the oddball, that I don't fit in.
I
But
hear you.
going to church, I mean, you're not expected to, be the best parishioner or the best person. I mean, this is how I feel. But as long as you do the effort, everybody's going to fall short of grace, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's going to, not. But for some reason, church just there to, meditate, sit there quietly, listen to the good word, and just, absorb it. And you have the right not to listen to it either. I mean, if that was the case, we wouldn't have people in prison, and we wouldn't have people that are bad or people do bad things. I mean, that's part of life, and I understand that.
Yep.
But I always try to see. Even my wife gets mad at me because, we're taught not to hate anybody. Because I mean, you hate somebody. I mean, just the word hate, my mom would kill us for it.
I know. Yeah.
And, I remember.
It only hurts the person that harbors the hatred.
Yep. And I really believed in that. The funny thing is that, and I mean funny as is strange, not funny as ha ha. But the 22nd, I lost my grandfather in 1992 on the same day as my aunt.
Huh.
And the same day as my brother last year. He passed away on December 22nd also. It's just weird,
It is.
But
Watch out for that day. Don't leave the house.
my thing is that my dad's sister lived at 90. My dad lived at 93. That's why I feel that if I take care of myself now, I'll be in the shape of my dad. My dad at 90 was able to put a railroad tie in the ground still.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, 400 pounds.
I'm about 44, and I probably couldn't do it today.
Well, my dad, I'm at the kitchen window cleaning dishes. This is lunchtime, and I just finished cleaning dishes, and I'm seeing out the window. My mom asked me, "Where's my dad?" And I said, "I don't know. I thought he was with you." No, I just came from the bedroom. I said, "Okay." So I went to the garage, went to the front yard. I went back to the kitchen window. See, went to the back. There he is. And walking towards the railroad tie. I says, "Oh no, he's not going to do that. No, he's not." And I got around the kitchen, out the pantry, to the patio in the back, running towards him. And by the time I got there, he already had lifted above his head, and he was hitting it to the hole. And I said, "Dad, you know you have congested heart failure. What happens if you have a heart?" I was pissed at him. Why? Are you doing this? He looked back at me like, "Who are you yelling at?" I said, "Oh, I forgot my place," you know. But I was upset because he was exerting himself. He wasn't supposed to exert his heart.
Well,
Anyway,
it's hard, man.
yeah. And he tells me, he says, "Hey, slow it down." I go, "Okay, Dad, but you're not supposed to do that." "Yeah, but look at the hole." I said, "What's wrong with it? You didn't dig it straight."
Oh man.
Every time I think about that, I go, damn, Dad was, Dad things, he was sharp almost to the end. I mean, we did his checkbook in April and he passed away in May. I mean, that's how sharp my dad was. Still signing his checkbook and everything.
Mm.
That's how I want to go. I want to be able to do things
Yeah,
in 93.
I agree. That does sound like a good way.
Yeah. I mean, he went through combat. He told me he got hit with a grenade concussion that threw him 50 feet in the air. He got bullet in his legs. He has, malaria, jaundice. I mean,
That's
anything you think of. And then he went to the hospital. I don't know how many times in his lifetime. It's just, geez.
yeah. I
And
don't.
and
Once you have,
and
once
every
you have that. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say that every time he had an issue or an episode, and I said, "Dad, are you okay?" He says, "I ain't ready to die yet. Don't worry about it."
As long as
And the doctor's going, "Yeah, he's gravely ill." I said, "Hey, last time my dad told me that it didn't happen." And he has this thing about having his thumbs up. Every time I see someone do thumbs up, it reminds me of dad because every time he had an illness or we thought he was going to kick the bucket, thumbs up, I knew he was going to live.
yeah.
The last time he didn't do that is because he was going on a procedure. He didn't give his thumbs up. And then he just shook his head and said, "Yeah, I'm ready." And then the next morning he passed away.
Man.
So that's what I want to do. I want to be able. If I'm going to go, I'm going to go young. If I'm going to go old, I want to be able to do things, know people, talk to people.
Yep.
And I think I'm not ready yet. I'm not done doing things. That's why I don't want to retire.
I hear you. There's my best friend's brother, the guy that owns my restaurant. His brother lives next door. He's had about 4 or 5 heart surgeries with stents every time.
Wow.
And every time, the next 2 or 3 days after his surgery, you'll see him out there on the lawnmower, or wiring up electric. You can't hold him down. He just as long as he's alive, he wants to do stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
why should I be here if I can't do nothing? I'm gonna do stuff.
Yeah. Well, I always hear. I mean, you said some things that I mean, I barely met you, and I remember you saying that you probably won't make it past 16, and I don't want that to happen because when I meet people, I tend, if I meet someone and I really get to enjoy their company, their talk, their conversation, their personality, and all that, I don't want them to leave. I don't want them to feel that there's a shortness in life, and I don't know. That's why I pray for everybody. I mean, even the people that don't like me.
I hear you, bro.
Because I'd rather them hate than me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I've met people that are plain hateful, and I don't see how they can live like that.
Me neither. I've seen them too.
Yeah, I guess we in our lives we all cross up against people who, want to take advantage of people, thinking that that's better, or they're braver than somebody else because they could say things that are mean.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I worked in the public too long. You work in the public. You know how people are.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of rude bastards out there that will just say, "Oh, you're a low life because you work in a restaurant. I can talk to you any way I please," and then they end up getting there somehow or another. It doesn't work out well. I think the more kindness you have towards people, then the more that comes back to you.
And I believe that a lot too. Karma. I really believe in karma,
Yep.
even though it's not a religious thing. It's more of a I don't know, spiritual thing rather than a faith thing. But I really do believe that if you don't treat people well, you're not gonna be treated well.
Yeah. And you ain't gonna have no friends at the end of the day.
Isn't that terrible when someone dies alone?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, bro. I can see that coming for me, but whatever.
No, not me. You got me here, son,
All right.
and you got your son.
Yes, he's the only one. Well, two sons. That's all I got in this world, basically.
Hey,
I
midnight.
got a couple of friends, but
Hey, Midnight Silver Run. Yeah, my dad's younger sister passed away at 90 last Saturday, and her funeral is not going to be until the 22nd of January.
dang.
Well, they cremated her already. Man, she was a feisty nun, man. I tell you, she loved the boxes. She was a tomboy at heart. I tell you,
Right on.
yeah, and that's part of the reason why. If you knew my dad's family, the brothers especially, they were singers, all of them. They all in sports. My uncle was the one that's living now, the only one left. He was the quarterback for San Jose State, and
Right on.
he was a singer. His daughter's in films. All my family's in the military. Um, there's somebody said something. Well, you always know a Gutierrez, which is our last name. You always know by their smile. You know that's who the family they belong to.
Right on.
That was kind of cool. I heard somebody said that one time, and it really didn't dawn onto me until one day we were going through some old film, and my Aunt Tony and my Uncle Zeke were in the barn. They were unloading the wagons of raisin and putting them in the bins so they could store them until they get shipped. And they're back there, and you can see my uncle and aunt, and they were in their early teens, and they wear glasses. You can see them smile, big white pearly teeth, all of them. The whole family had nothing but big pearly teeth.
Right on, man.
Oh no, we were asking about coin coin collector Hunter, not Hunter, coin collector Ohio. He he turned off the screen because he had to go to sleep, or was it because he had to go to sleep, but didn't tell us, and all of a sudden he said he didn't want to cut off our conversation, but it's
all
still
of a sudden it disappeared.
and I go back to stream again, and it didn't say there was nothing there.
He did say 5 minutes before, "Hey guys, I got 5 minutes and I'm going to bed," but nobody said nothing. So I don't know. But yeah, he's 15 years old. He's got to go to bed. He's right. You can't maintain straight A's staying up till 5 in the morning talking to people like me.
Well, the few times I told him he needs to go to bed because
Exactly.
he was up with us at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's his fault too. So
He said he has straight A's though.
Yeah, I know. And then he tells me, he says, "Well, you're a teacher. You should be in bed too." I'm going, "Oh,
you're on Christmas break."
yeah." Well, this is during school time.
Oh, all right.
But he's off in sports, so that makes it harder for him.
Yep. I'm gonna make me an egg McMuffin.
Go for it.
All right.
Besides, I'm eating anyway. You got the plastic rings?
No, it's a microwave one.
Oh,
Jimmy
okay.
Dean.
And
Jimmy
there's
Dean.
like a Jimmy Dean. Remember how Jimmy Dean egg sausage muffins?
Yeah, that's the one I'm fixing to make right now.
Oh, cool. I like those.
Pretty decent. A little bit of Cholula sauce on there.
Oh, I love Cholula.
Yeah.
There's another one. Geez, I can't remember what it is.
See, oh, I know which one you're talking about. Something that starts with a P.
Let me see if I have it in my refrigerator.
It's like Piccolo Pete or something. Pete's something with Pete.
Actually, it's called Valentina.
Oh, I know that one. Hell yeah. Valentina.
This is a good one. It's almost like a Tabasco crossed with Cajun fixings with Oaxacan.
There
This is
you
this
go.
this Valentina is good.
What's that other one that starts with a P? It's not Picante.
No.
Midnight Silver Run. It's called dang, we have it every day at the restaurant. Can't think of it.
There's also Victoria's.
Hmm.
That's not a P though.
It's Uncle Pico or something like that. Tio. Oh, it's Tapatio. Tapatio, that's it.
Oh yeah, Tapatio is good too.
Yeah, Tapatio.
I prefer. We have a bottle that's a quart bottle. We buy that. It's gone by the month.
Yeah.
No, the other one is Tabasco, which is
Yeah.
okay.
I don't like that one. It's too much vinegar.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got too much vinegar in it. Anybody else want to come up?
Midnight, get up in here. What's that, Midnight? What's on January 1st?
So January 1st, something happens that I've never thought I'd see happen. What are you gonna see, Midnight?
I want to see it too.
I wonder what he's talking about.
Oh, the whole country is legalizing? Is that what? I haven't heard that. Legalization of what? I never thought I'd see that happen either.
You guys have already seen it. I have.
I gotta go check on the English muffin. I'll be back.
Okay. Hey, Midnight, you want to come up? Oh, too late. California's already got it. Uh-oh. What happened?
I heard that they're talking about federally legalizing it, so it would be up to the states. Well, wait, that's already what it is, ain't it?
Yeah, because California's recreational. Okay, when you can, just tell me when.
But somehow, even though certain states are recreational, the feds can still come in and raid those places and bust them because it's
Oh,
still,
yeah, in California, that's happening now.
yeah,
Because they're not following all the rules that California says that you're supposed to have in order to get.
yeah,
Because they're growing them wild up here in the mountains. In our state parks or national parks, I should say, also,
yeah,
they're having big raids where they, take 100,000 trees out. I'm not talking
yeah.
about plants. I'm talking about trees.
Trees, exactly.
And the other thing too is that I voted against it only because I figured if 18-year-olds can buy it, that means high school students will get to it. And if high school students get to it, the younger the kid's going to get it. And I don't mind adults, taking responsibility for their own, but
Over here, you have to be 21.
no, ours is 18.
Dang.
Yeah, and I've seen it already.
Wait a minute. In California, you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes, don't you?
Right,
But you can buy weed at 18?
because cigarettes kill, weed doesn't.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, that's the argument about. That's why they said we're going to legalize weed. They said it's because it doesn't kill anybody. Cigarettes do because it causes cancer.
I guess that is true, but doesn't mean you should get high school kids to be able to buy weed. I mean, if high school kids want to buy weed, they're going to buy weed either way, whether it's legal or not. Basically.
Right.
I always did.
But,
I found a way.
Well, the thing is that the more legal it is, the easier it is to get.
Yep.
I mean, you still can get it easy, but the penalties were a lot stricter. Now there's no penalties, so it's easier.
Yeah.
Less of a less of a stigma, less of a deterrent, and two, no punishment.
Yep. I hear you. No stigma.
Yeah. And the thing is also, I remember one of my brother-in-law's best friend, Ralph, was with the Border Patrol, and he would say that weed does kill. I go, that's not what everybody says. They said, yeah, but I see it differently. And then he shows us a picture of these skeletal remains of people carrying backpacks of marijuana.
Yep.
Because they crossed the desert and they didn't make it.
It killed them. I hear you. I don't know. Eventually, it's just going to be legal everywhere because they want to make the most money off tax revenue that they
Right.
get. So,
But it's got to catch up to the banking because banking can't take money from can't say it, cannabis. There we go. Vendors, because they'll try to deposit $100,000 and they'll say, "Where's it from?" I said, "From our grow." They can't take it because because they're federally insured,
yeah.
federally mandated. They can't take it. And then I've seen some armed guards at some of the places that they do sell it.
I think alcohol is more dangerous than freaking weed, in my opinion.
It isn't the alcohol that's dangerous; it's the person who uses it.
Yeah, but I'm the person that uses it, and that's why I know how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
It's messed up. I've been an alcoholic since I was 14, so I can, and it's you can find it at every corner.
You know,
It's not.
I'm the opposite. My niece just came from Hawaii to visit um, for Christmas, and she made a statement. And I'm sorry. I said I didn't even offer you a beer when you don't drink. No, I drink. It's just I don't drink that much.
Yeah.
And so she asked me a few questions. He goes, "Well, how come you don't drink?" Um, I can't really tell you a reason for it. One, when I was 21, I came home drunk, and my dad sat me down and made me the greasiest, awfulest breakfast, and then put a 6-pack of hot beer in front of me.
Oh man.
It made me drink it.
See, I was the opposite. When I turned 21, my dad took me to the strip club and got me hammered.
Mm, no, not my dad, and my dad still didn't. I mean, even to the last days before he got sick, he was never a drinker. He always get bottles of as gifts, for his birthday or for whatever. They would sit in the cupboard for years. I mean, I had some good whiskey that was aged 12 years under the cabinet, dark and everything. Came out smoother than it was when the day was bottled.
Yeah.
But we never.
That wouldn't have lasted in my house.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Both my parents were alcoholics, and all four of my grandparents alcoholic. And my family tree is basically a pickle.
Really?
And so, my only one of my sons doesn't drink. The other one is in prison, obviously. But
Yeah.
Russ, he's a good guy. I think he's the one that's finally gonna break the chain. He's doing better than I've ever done in my life, and he lives right over across the river. He's doing pretty good.
Well, we've had some incidents of family abuse. I wouldn't say we're because Mexicans drink tequila, and it's almost like moonshine for people in the South, and beer for Germans, and
Yes.
Italians. Everybody has their drink, right?
Yeah.
But I guess since my grandfather didn't drink on both sides, both my paternal and maternal grandparents, because my maternal grandfather, his brother was killed in a knife fight over a drink, and we weren't allowed to have drink in the house because of that.
Rich Cali 21. I hear you right there, brother.
Hey, Rich. Wow, at 14. I'm sorry to hear that, Rich.
When I was 14, my dad gave me a weed pipe, and I was happy. I was glad. I loved it. But to me, looking back now, that wasn't really being a good dad. But at the time back then, I was like, my homie, hell yeah, how'd you know? Rock on.
I mean, I used to have 30. I mean, I've got 3 beers on the floor right now because nice in my small refrigerator, because I usually fill that up with iced tea for my wife. I don't like iced tea, but lemonade is my favorite. So I always keep a big pitcher of it. 3 liter bottle or 3 liter pitcher, and I'm always drinking water that way because I don't know. I just don't prefer alcohol. I mean, I do drink and I do get tipsy once in a while, but it's far and few in between.
Can't sleep if I don't have nothing.
I'm sorry?
If I don't have no beers or whiskey, I can't sleep at all. I just sweat in the bed all night, toss and turn until the morning comes.
Wow.
Yeah. Whatever. It's what it is.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're able to cope with it, not all people are alcoholics because they drink, 50 bottles of beer in a night.
Exactly.
Some people drink only 2 or 3 of them, and they're knocking off their asses.
I still function every day. I still have been at the same job for 20 years. I don't call in sick. I don't mess up. I don't fuck around. But it is what it is. When I get off work, I'm going to have a few beers.
Yeah, my wife does a wine before dinner to relax, and then, but But you know what my big thing is? Soda. I drink too much soda.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's the one thing I don't do.
But you know what I've gotten into really drinking is lemonade.
I do like lemonade, man. Especially that you can get the you ever make it just that you can get those big bottles of lemon juice and then you just make your own
Yeah.
put water, sugar and dump your own lemon juice and then man, I love that right there.
Well, I got something a little bit, not much better, but a little bit better. We have a lemon tree
Oh, baby.
at my father-in-law's house, and every year we pull at least, I'd say,
Hell yes.
well, this tree is 30 years old and it's about 10
Yeah.
feet tall and about 10 feet wide.
My
And
grandpa had the same
we
thing.
pull over 2,000 lemons, so we spend a weekend or two, a month until we pull them all off, and we juice them and we freeze them, and then
Yep.
we take a couple of cubes, put them in a glass, let it melt into the water,
Oh, baby.
and then that's what we drink.
There you go, right there.
Midnight Silver One says that her dad died from cirrhosis of the liver and pneumonia.
Mine too.
Sorry to hear that, guys. Well, I'm glad to see Rich Kelly. I mean, I haven't. I've only talked to him once or twice in the last few weeks, but I'm glad he's around. He's a good guy.
I haven't met him, but I take your word. If he's a good guy, he's a good guy.
Topzilla, I want you to meet Rich Kelly. Rich Kelly.
Hell yes. Get her done.
Oh, we've had long talks too.
Sounds like we have the same story, Rich Kelly.
And the thing is I hear these stories, and I can't imagine. I can only empathize with you guys because I've got a lot of students that their dads, druggies or they're alcoholics or they have a hard time dealing with the situation, and I feel bad for the kids. I mean, kids especially. But
nobody ever felt bad for me, and I was glad. I mean, I didn't even feel bad for myself. I thought everything was normal, but now looking back on it, I'm like, man, something was wrong. Now this is where I'm at.
yeah. Well,
but I'm not. Don't feel sorry. I'm not having a pity party or nothing.
No. I'm just telling. It's a fact of life.
Yeah, it's what it is.
That's why I don't tell you, hey, you should do this or that, because
yeah,
to each his own, and it takes time. It's your decision to make that well or leave it as it is. As long as it doesn't hurt nobody, and how should I put this? It doesn't harm yourself anymore. And that's why I say I pray for you, because it's the fact that you may have this attitude because of what your past situation was, your current situation, but things change, and I'm having a hard time with certain things right now with my siblings, but I still pray for them. I don't hate them. They may not like me, but I just can't turn that hate back to them.
I wonder sometimes when people say, I pray for you, do they actually sit there and say a prayer? Or does it just say, that means I wish you well? Or
for me, I can say I do. I
really do? Dang, bro.
No, I mean, that's the way I was brought up. I mean, when you pray for someone, it could be a person that you had just talked to or you haven't thought of in a while, or like my aunt, every night I'm thinking about her. That's a prayer, because if you don't keep your family in mind, it's part of the prayer.
So if you think about someone, then that means you said a prayer for them.
Yes.
All right. I hear you.
Yeah. And I do a lot because I hear a lot from this conversation and other people and other conversations I've had. They might not say much, but I can tell something in the background is hurting them, or they're worried about. Everybody has issues. It's like when I was a kid in school, every time we heard a siren, either from a fire department or ambulance or from a police car,
Yeah.
We had to stop and think of that person, even if we didn't know him, even if we didn't know who it was for.
Yeah.
We stopped whatever we did in class, and we stopped and we said a prayer.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean that I have to think you directly. It just means that that person that I've had in touch, either by hearing another story from them or hearing from somebody else about them, or
Yeah.
it's just that you pray for all souls.
Yep. That's cool. I hear you.
And so I do pray for you there, Popzilla.
Right on, brother.
And your son too,
All right. All right.
because he probably needs all the help. And that's another thing you tell him to do is get in touch with a minister or a priest or whatever that
The chaplain.
he feels comfortable with, because sometimes they may need a little godly this and a godly that, or maybe he doesn't. He'll find out.
Yep.
Whatever he can do to improve his chances, tell him to participate as much as he can in everything, and stay out of that yard, stay out of the loop.
Yep. I hear you.
Because I hear so many stories from my wife. Even staff that gets pulled in and they get suckered in and they get walked off and then they get prosecuted, and then they end up in jail too.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a goody two shoes. I can tell you that for a fact. But
Right on.
I know the business. I know the things of life that could happen. I see things, and I don't know. I just wish people were just more. I don't know. It's just maybe I'm getting older. I'm getting too sentimental.
Yeah. Me too. I'm the
Good,
same.
though.
I know. I like it. I actually like being sentimental now. You don't have to be a tough guy every day. Fuck it.
No. And I tell you, I was one of those. I wasn't mean or nothing. It's just that I showed my worst sides. Put it that way.
Yep.
I mean, you had to in business. I mean, you couldn't be friends with a lot of people, and if you had to shoplift somebody and bust them for it, you couldn't be. You could be professional, but if they started swinging,
Going down.
yeah, I had to put a few people down. I shouldn't be laughing.
All right. My
This
bad.
This guy ran out of the doors because I locked the doors on him because he was doing a beer run on me. So I locked the doors
Shit.
automatically. He slammed the door. He was pissed, not because he got caught, but because I slammed the door on his face by hitting the button.
Yeah.
And he came back at me and he took a swing at me and he hit the hand on the register, which kind of hurt his hand. And I stepped back and then I slipped. And then he jumps over the counter and he starts kicking me. I can get up and I pushed him back as hard as I could. And when he went over the counter, I went after him. And we started struggling around and started knocking some stuff over. And he somehow got around my back. So I went back again around him and I lifted him up. And then he kicks me in the balls.
Dang.
And and as I was coming down, I leaned forward and then he caught my foot on something, or I caught my foot on something. I can't remember exactly what, but I was falling forward. And as I was falling forward, I put him against the counter and I broke his ribs.
Ah.
Yeah. That wasn't fun. And the cops couldn't get in because I couldn't hit the button again to release them. And I couldn't let go of the guy.
Dang.
I was just laying on top of him because I couldn't reach the button because I was on the other side of the counter. And the cops were at the door. Hey, let us in, let us in. I said, I can't. The button's on the other side of the counter. So the guy was in pain, so I had to let him go, run around the corner. And as I ran around the corner, I hit the button, and that's when the cops ran in and they knocked him down again. And I could hear this guy groan like with pain.
Yeah. Yep. Over a freaking 12-pack.
Yeah, two of them.
Oh, he had one in each hand.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, it wasn't fun either. Got a black guy and a puffy face because he actually kicked me in the face.
Uh-huh.
I had to go to the hospital and have my face checked out, make sure I didn't have my eyeball broken or my teeth knocked out or loosened.
Dang, bro. I don't know if I would have gone that far over. I'd just
Oh
call
no,
it.
no, I wasn't. He reached over and got me. I
Oh
didn't.
shit.
No, I wasn't letting him. I just locked the door and I told him just stand there.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah. Just stand there. The cops are coming, fool.
yeah, but he didn't, and like I said, I slipped in the back of the counter, and he
Yeah.
jumped the counter to get me to it.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, so I was really defending myself. And my boss said, "Why'd you go after him?" I said, "I didn't go after him. I just knocked him over. He came after me."
He kicked me in the balls. Oh shit. That's a good story right there.
Another time, no, I got. Oh, I got,
Another time.
no, you'd be surprised how many people I've caught in my town that First of all, they were very well known, and the other one was that one of the guys I caught was my best friend's father. That kicked me in the gut.
Dang, that had to be hard.
Oh, I was 18 years old and I was crying like a baby because I went home and told my mom I caught.
Holy crap, bro. I can't even imagine that.
She goes, "No way." Yes, that was him. And to this day, I haven't told his son. This happened when I was 18, so over 45 years ago.
Huh.
His dad's passed on so far since, but he was my wife's dental representative. He did all the dental supplies,
Yeah.
and I would see him at least once or twice, a year, because I go to the office and he sometimes was there. But I've never told him.
That's crazy.
Broke my heart though. It really did. It really made me really cynical people.
Yeah. I've gotten cynical myself the last little few years. I don't know. I keep an open mind, but man, it's hard.
Which says if you're drinking hard, it's hurting you, but you know that,
Yeah, I already know.
and you can't stop. Yeah,
It's not that I can't stop. I just don't feel like stopping.
yeah, it's a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I have stopped and I went to rehab. I've done, you know, I've done the gambit of stopping, but right now, I don't know. I don't feel like stopping. It's nobody's problem but mine. I'm not affecting really anyone except myself.
you might have to change that a little bit with your son. Does he have a drinking problem?
No, well, no. But actually, both of them don't drink. The one that went to prison, he was a meth addict. So
Mm,
hopefully he's cured of that. But I don't know. Maybe not. He might be a lifer.
yeah.
But he says he's done. I believe him. He's trying to do right. So
Well, that's the other thing about the power of prayer. Uh, Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I still do it.
right on.
Why I don't know, but every time I talk to people, I always tell to myself, and I don't tell the person that I pray for them. And I don't like telling people that. I just because sometimes they feel weirded out about it, or
Yeah.
it doesn't going to work for them, or whatever the reason that it's neither negative or positive. I just do it because it's also helps me out thinking
Yep.
that I'm thinking of the person rather than the issue.
I hear you. That's pretty sweet.
Even when I go to mass, sometimes I'll sit there. I'll even go to church and just sit there in the pew because I just want to hear quiet.
Whenever,
I want everything. No music, no talking, just silence.
when I was in rehab or whenever I would go to meetings of AA or NA and all that, they always have a moment of silence for the addict who is still suffering. So everyone just shuts up for like 30 seconds and thinks about the people that are still out there doing harm to themselves or whatever. I don't know.
Well, the other reason too is that I had an uncle who would walk the streets because he was an alcoholic, and two, he had a mental condition, and his name was Ben. And I would see him because the county mental health facility was down the street from my parents' ranch, and he'd walk there, and sometimes um, he wouldn't escape. I don't know what the deal was, but he was always, walking to the facility or coming to the facility or leaving the facility. I was a little kid. I was 10 years old when this happened, and I do remember him. And yeah, he was drunk a lot of the times I spoke to him, but he was never mean. He was never
Yeah.
um, a danger to me. Let's put it that way, in any sense of the word. And not that I had bad feelings. I didn't have good feelings either. I guess I felt more sorry for him than anything else.
There
Hey,
you go.
Stillwater's back.
What's up, Saint Hoarder? It doesn't offend me, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't offend me either. Even my friends that are not Christians or Catholics, I have some friends of mine that are Sikhs that are really good people, really good friends of mine. I have a few Mormons. Um, I have some Jewish people, some Russian Orthodox. I mean, in this town, there's a little bit of everybody. I mean, as big as it is now, and I grew up with some of them. Even when I went to school in Fresno, I went to a Catholic high school, and we were taught other religions. And I
Yeah.
guess one of the reasons they taught us that is because we're supposed to do the works and acts of Christ, but we didn't have to be the memorization or the evangelization of anybody else, but by the works and by our deeds and our thoughts, about people and caring about people. That was more important.
That's right on right there.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they hate for whatever let's say you like tiddlywinks and I didn't. I shouldn't hate
I
you.
hate you.
You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
it's just that too many people, I don't know. It's like they have to be their way or no way, and I don't believe that. I think people believe what they can and do, and because it wasn't my job to change them, they have to figure it out on their own.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe that too. Said harder. That's why sometimes when I first started meeting people that just got out of prison, a lot of times it's not out of respect; it's more out of fear. You know. Um, but they deserve as much respect as they give respect. That's what I tell them. Uh-oh. Am I out? Make sure. I'm disconnected again. Doggone it. Nope. Anybody hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, good. Because
Silver Finder is here now. What up, brother?
oh, thank you. Yes, respect is earned, not given. I believe that too. But it's funny sometimes that if I'm respectful and they're not, I still feel that I put my best foot forward. If they don't accept it, then they're not giving back.
Oh.
Silver stars.
What's up, brother?
How you guys doing? Popzilla, how come I always talk so deep with you?
I don't know, man. I feel you. I feel you, though, man.
That's cool. That's all right. That's all right.
It's awesome. I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, but because we're real, bro. We
Yeah.
talk real feelings, real things, real subjects.
Nothing pretentious.
None of that.
Yeah, Ken Horter, you're very right. It's hard to respect the person who's not respectful, but at the same time, we're told to tolerate the disrespect and turn the other cheek. But I only got 4 cheeks. After the 4th one's gone, I don't think I can. I don't think I can be that Christian. But yeah, it's not easy nowadays. Or I should say, any time and point in my life where I had people being disrespectful. But
Yep.
I was talking to a nurse, and she works in pediatric oncology, and I'm going, wow, you deal with dying kids. I said,
That's
"No,
crazy.
they're not all dying. It's just that, yeah, some do die." And I said, how do you deal with a child dying from a horrible disease? And she goes, well, I look at it this way. The one I do lose, there are 9 other kids or 10 kids or 11 kids that are fighting to stay alive, and I'm there for them.
Right on.
I'm going, wow, that is trippy. And I went to ask her, do kids go to school when they're in the hospital? She says, oh yeah, they go to school. And I said, but what if they're so ill that they can't go? Well, then we teach them in their own rooms. And I said, okay. Well, what happens when there's class and there's a seat missing? And the kids go, well, that's what she told me. What the kids say, they know that if the chair is empty, that means that.
Oh man,
Can you imagine that?
dang, bro, killing me.
So I tell my kids, you guys don't like to be in the school, but there are kids staying alive just to go to school, literally. They say that's not true. Well, I'll tell you what. I dare any of you to go visit a child as a volunteer, or even to visit a child in the hospital and see how would you feel.
Can't do it, man.
They won't do it. Wow. Even Sennhorder says you can only push a good man or a woman so far. If you poke the sleeping bear long enough, he'll wake up, and it isn't pretty.
No.
That's very true. Yeah, my daughter wakes up sometimes, and she is one heck of a bear. She is moody. And then my son is the opposite. Who's about as big as a bear. He always gets up in a pretty good mood. I wonder if anybody wants to come up. I asked a while ago, and Silver Stars. I don't think I've met him before. Let me see if I have him on my.
I haven't. I know about Silver Finder though. Hello. Silver Finder's cool people. Midnight Silver Run. Yes, sir. Get her done.
Oh, thank you, Sennhorder. I didn't read that before. Deep conversations are good. It shows your heart. There you go, Popzilla. I told you.
Yeah. Here's my heart, everybody. Check it out.
And I like your voice. It just reminds me of Wolfman Jack.
Right on.
You ever heard of him?
Yes, I heard of him.
No, I mean, have you heard his voice? I mean,
No,
no. You should check him out one at a time.
I will. I'll check it out. Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, he was
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I used to listen to my little transistor AM radio.
He was a DJ, right? Back in the day.
Yeah. Well, if you ever saw American Graffiti,
Oh, yeah.
he was in
Okay.
there. He played the DJ, and Richie Cunningham went in there to ask for a request because he saw that girl in that white T-bird. And he said, "Get a hold of me that way."
Oh, man. That's good memories.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my wife and I were talking about memories today because of my aunt passing away and my grandpa on the same day as my brother, and she's missing her mom. She's been gone since April of 2018, and my dad May of 2018. So it was harder this Christmas than it was last year. I don't know,
Man.
but we were just watching TV, and we both fell asleep. We woke up, and the fire was dying, and we're sitting in the dark, and we're going, "Oh my gosh!" And it said, "What?" It's already 6 o'clock. We fell asleep. And then we started just talking, and it got quiet a little bit. And my wife started saying, "We didn't even put a Christmas tree this year because we didn't. It didn't feel right." And
Yeah.
we're
I
just
hear you.
we're just missing some people.
Reminiscing.
Yeah. Usually I put up the tree, two trees, one, and then we put up the nativity scene, and we didn't do it this year. And we have a new granddaughter. She's only 7 months. Yesterday, day before yesterday, and if it wasn't for her and my grandson, I don't know. It would be a tough year.
I hear you.
Even my daughter didn't tell us that she was pregnant when my brother passed away. She waited until 2 months later that she wore big coats and she wasn't drinking. She likes alcohol. She likes partying with her cousins because all our 13 cousins are really close with each other, and we didn't really notice it. But in February of this year, she told us that she was due in May. And I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh man.
And we're sitting there like, "That's great. How come you didn't tell us earlier?" Because she was February, March, April, May. Um, she was already 6 months pregnant, and she told us, "Well, you just lost your brother, and we didn't want it to be a focus of attention on me." I said, "Are you kidding me?" And then you tell all your aunts and uncles and all your cousins at one time, and you tell us. That's fantastic. That's great. And my wife was telling me today that my granddaughter's got me wrapped around her little finger. I said, "No, that's not true." I didn't want to agree with her that she does. I mean, grandbabies are something else, especially little girls. Oh my gosh,
Oh man.
yeah, she's something else. I mean, Rich Kellington tell me the same thing about his grandkids. We talk sometimes about our grandkids, about each other, and I forget my pains and my worries and my issues, and
Yeah.
it just goes away. I mean, having a kid's one thing, and I do appreciate having my kids, but having grandkids, oh my gosh,
I can't wait, bro. It won't be long. I'll have
oh,
you.
believe me, Pop, if anything wants to keep you on this earth longer, it's that.
That could be the reason, bro.
Yeah, and you know something, I feel like I'm 30 again,
I know.
and I play with toys with them. I do things that I would never,
Yep.
I'm a pretty serious guy, and um,
I'm waiting for that.
it just brings things out of you that you don't normally would do.
That's what I need, maybe.
Not maybe.
Probably.
No, Pop. Let me tell you something. I had my wife's best friend. She's known since first grade. She's had two boys,
Yeah.
really good kids. Uh, but one day she came in and she told us to the house to visit, and it was about this time of year, and she was expecting her first. She had her first grandchild, and she's expecting her second one. And she comes in and tells us that you'll never love your kids as much as you love your grandkids. And I
Yeah.
said, "Wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa! You're gonna love your grandkids more than your children? Wouldn't that be equal?" She
That's
goes,
what happened to my dad too. When I had my first son, my dad changed his whole life. He had a new reason.
and I have to agree with that because at a time where I had lost my job, my grandson was born, and it was out of wedlock. The guy wasn't working, but he's an ex, corpsman from the Marine Corps. He was a Navy man. Um, it just, and I didn't know they were dating. And all of a sudden, she tells me the day she bought her house, the day that she told me she was pregnant with my grandson, and I was hurt and pissed. I mean, totally.
Mm.
And she didn't want to bring him over to meet him, talk about his intentions, what's he going to do with my daughter and my grandson coming. What are your financial intentions to support them, and are you guys going to get married? No questions at all. I said,
No,
okay. Yeah. So he comes in, and there's a few things I didn't know about him until the day my daughter had her son, my grandson. That he had another son from another woman in the same situation. And I said, "Can you sink any lower?" Am I not that he wasn't a good guy because I didn't know him. I didn't know who he was, but
Yeah.
but my daughter knew him since first grade, and they went to preschool together. They went to Lincoln Elementary. They went to high school together, and then they were dating. I didn't know they were dating. So all these things came out at one time. The day my grandson was born.
Man.
I'm going. I was pissed. Oh, and I was even more pissed after I found out that he had another child from another woman, and he wasn't being responsible. And I said I thought he wasn't being responsible, but he's turned out to be an okay guy. And I still told him I still don't. It'll be 90%. Maybe I'll trust him. Maybe 80%. I don't know. I just tell him I don't care if you're in the military, but if you mess up on my daughter or my grandson or my granddaughter now,
Yeah.
he's gonna pay it one way or another. Okay, Silver Stars, thank you. Hey, Rich, you want to come up?
Let's throw the link up there just in case.
Yeah. Well, I can send him. I think I got his email. I think
Oh,
it'd be easier. Let's see.
I'm one of the people. I'll just throw it right there in the chat. I guess there's reasons why people don't do it, but I don't think there's any trolls watching at 3 in the morning. Actually, it's 4:37 in the morning. Dang, bro, we've been on for a while.
That's okay. I like talking to you, sir.
Me too, man. It flies by when you're talking to good people.
Yeah, another thing too is we have so much different past.
Different worlds.
Yeah, or we still cross somewhere.
Yep. We might be brothers from another mother.
Okay, next time. Geez, I hope you're all right there, Rich.
Right on, Rich Kelly.
Well, I sent you the link, and we did. You don't have to come up if you feel, but I don't mind you listening in. You comment anytime you want to, Rich. Rich and I go back. It's funny because I didn't know you can talk to people in a deep version like we are right now, Pop.
Yeah.
And Rich is one of them.
Right.
So was Cajun the Coin Hunter, and Melissa, and let's see,
Yeah, Melissa's awesome.
Alden,
Craig
Durbin, Kathy Durbin, Joe Durbin. I mean, these are all these Durbins that I'm finding. But
Yeah.
I mean, not with Joe, not that deep. But I mean, I'm starting to find people that I can talk to, and the conversation goes on. I mean, it's
Find out about different sides of humanity.
Yeah, I just wish people were it's like when I walk on a sidewalk or go into a store, people are so to themselves.
Yeah.
You don't get to know them. That's what I liked about grocery business when I was working. I had so many people would come to my line. A lot of guys in the store didn't like cashiering. I did.
Yeah.
Just because, there was one family. This lady would bring her 3 daughters, and they were all gorgeous, all my age, between 17 and 19. Awesome looking ladies. Even mom was pretty good looking for her age, but the daughters were very polite, very. Man, those days were a long time ago, but I remember very fondly of those days.
Good memories.
Yeah, I worked there for 11 years at a job I never ever wanted, because for one, it was in the public. 2, because I got the job for me instead. And 3, I don't know how long I'm going to be there because I was going to college. No, I was high school. That's right, high school. And then I went to college the following fall, and I stayed there for 11 years. Go figure.
Yep.
Yeah, Rich and I have talked about a lot of things too. Man, he's one of the.
Same thing with me right here. I started at when I was in high school. I worked at this restaurant for 2 years. Became best friends with the boss's son. So he kept me on. He said, "Hey, if anything happens in life and you need a job, you can always come back here."
Awesome.
So when I left, went to California, did all that, went to rehab, went to college, did 10 years later, 9/11 happened. And that day, all the skies were silent. You remember that?
Yep.
There was no plane, it was a no-fly zone. So
Mhm.
that day,
The only thing that was flying was the Lemoore Air Station in Lemoore,
yeah,
and the fighter wing of the Fresno Airport. That was the
that
only
day
flying.
freaked me out. I said, "No, hell no, I'm going back to Idaho. I'm not going to be in this hellhole if anything goes down like that." So went back. He hired me on the first day. Been there for 20 years ever since. And now he's dying of cancer. They're about to sell the place next month. So I don't know where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. But
Can you take it over?
nah. Well, if I had 350,000, I could. But no.
Yeah, but if the son owns it. Why doesn't the son just take over it and run it?
Yeah, he doesn't want. He's not. He said, "No, I've had enough. If they're selling it, I'm not staying." And he can't buy it. I can't buy it. It's some couple from Oregon is over here. Rich people are trying to take it over, and I don't know how long if I'm going to be able to stay there or not. So
Well, your boss can put it in the writing that you stay on.
yeah, that would be good. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that.
Would you want to stay?
Yeah, I love that place, man. I've put half my life into that building, man.
Then what I would do, Rich, I mean, Pop, I would just go ahead and start talking to him and say, "Look, I've got nowhere to go. If you value me or you value the work I've done for you, or and
Yeah.
could you please put a good word in for me? Put it in part of the deal
All
because
right.
all the people are going to need jobs. All
That's
the
a
people,
good idea.
and
Plus, everybody in town says I'm the best. They won't even come there unless I'm working. So
there you go.
they all know me. Everybody loves me.
That
So
would be a business decision to make. And if
yeah,
that was told to me, and you had that much business, how should I put it?
clout. I've got clout.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What's going to hurt?
Hopefully it'll work out. I know it will. I got faith.
Well, I'll pray for that too for you.
Right on, brother. Appreciate you.
No problem. Yeah, Rich and we chatted about everything: grandkids, life decisions, past jobs.
Yep.
What he has. My favorite is his postcard collection.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's got a collection like, I couldn't even begin to start with.
That's cool.
And then he's got old photographs of his family. I mean, he does the coins with us. I'm interested in people's lives. Like when I went to visit my dad's sister before she passed away, I went on the 14th or 15th weekend, and I met her. Her community, which they call their sisters, and I met the rest of the sisters. I met a sister who was the real biological sister of another sister.
Holy cow.
One was 101 and the other one was 99.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and I took my grandson last year to see my dad's sister.
How old's your grandson?
Well, he's 7 now.
Right on, man.
He was 5 when I took him, and I was surprised my daughter let me because we were going to LA, and I figured she'd worry about him all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so we went down there, and he went to every sister and hugged them, every one. And I'm going, okay. I was really proud of him.
That's cool.
But the funny thing is, when you get to be 100, maybe I don't know, and you might not know yet. But when he hugged him, they sort of like woke up. They were like half asleep and not interested in anything that's going on. But
Yep.
he went to him and said hi and hugged him. They started, oh, what an adorable child, and this and that, and the other. And they were talking, and then they were talking about him. Look, he's got nice eyes, and the sisters were talking about each other about it. And
Yeah.
the activity lady who was there with them, she goes, boy, that's unusual. I never see them. I mean, I show them how to do this, and
That's the fountain of youth.
yeah, and they woke him up. And I said, well, maybe that's what it needs. It needs just interaction, not the same people, but different people. And when my dad was in rehab he broke his hip. He had to have a lot of physical therapy. I noticed a lot of people were sitting in their chair, dazing off, not really interacting, and even the people that were working there really didn't interact with them. And I said, man, these people need jobs. And I was talking about the old people that were there.
Something to do.
Yeah.
Keep them busy. The
Yeah,
reason to live.
I was thinking, hey, maybe they should start filing, putting paper in envelopes, putting stamps on the envelopes, and then pay them a small wage, so that they have spending money for the cafeteria. Like one place we went to, get a load of this. They have bourbon night. They have whiskey night. They have mixed drink night. They have popcorn. They have hot dog night. I said, yeah, you should make it as much as
That's awesome.
outside world inside. And then I don't know. I just think we don't value our old people as much as we should.
Yeah, I've heard over in Europe, or at least especially in Asia, they value their old people more than anything. They take extra special care of.
Well, I'm hearing that some of that's changing now, but it's not like in Mexico. They've as long as I can remember, I always remember some of my friends, when they go back and say, "Oh, my grandma is living with my dad or my dad's brother," or they take turns, living
Yeah.
with the family. Nobody ever went to a rest home.
No, hell no.
I
And
told
even if they
my, I,
did, someone would come visit them every single day.
yep,
It's not
yep.
like you just see them once a month or whatever.
I miss my dad a lot too, and I'm able to talk about it without feeling sad inside. But for 13 years or 12 years, I say, I would see my dad every day. Make him dinner, go see if they needed groceries, or I took my dad to mass. I took my mom to
Right.
appointments. Everything. I did everything as much as I could, And I would think that by me doing this, I would have help from my siblings, but I guess it didn't work out that way. And I don't hate them. I just feel disappointed. Same here, Rich Kelly. Hope you get some sleep. Take care of that cough too. Six people lurking, huh? Rich, really take care of yourself, man. Night.
Night, brother.
I don't think I would have met any of you guys.
I know I wouldn't have met you if who knows what if it could be, but I would have. I'm glad I met you.
Same here. Same here.
Good times.
And more to come.
Yep.
I'm expecting the new year to be a better year than the last 5 years. It's been a rough struggle, but little by little, I see some progress, and I hope that everybody has the same. And I really do hope you get to keep that job. I didn't know that your place was being sold, but I would talk to your owner and
They're my neighbor. They're my best friend. So I talk to them every day. So
You know, some suggest to them that you're part of the deal, that you go with all the employees.
and it's up to the buyer, not the.
Well, you could put it in the. Believe me, I've had friends, you know, and not only that, you have a business connection with all the people you're rare
Yeah.
client know.
My entire town loves me. So either way, I'm gonna be all right.
The thing is, if he buys the place, he's got to hire all new staff.
That's what it should be.
But see, when I
Then again, what if he's an asshole? I don't want to work for an asshole. I work for my best friend.
then you can leave. Then
There
you
you,
then
there
you-
you go.
otherwise you don't have an option.
Yeah.
And
Either
what-
way, I'm gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, but let me put it this way: if you like the place, you like the people going in there,
Yeah,
he lets you run the place because you know it,
they do. They should. But
and that would be business suicide to
Yeah.
not keep you.
exactly.
Some people might not even go back.
I know that thing inside and out like the back of my hand.
Yeah. The only thing you have to agree is to disagree what he's going to do because he will make some changes.
Oh yeah, they already have plans.
But-
They're gonna
Are they changing the interior? Are they going to change the menu or what?
the whole. I don't know about the menu, but they're building. They want to double the grill area and put another fryer.
Well, that's even worse. That means you have to hire more people.
Maybe. I don't know. That might be even better. We could, because there's times when we're slammed. We only have 3 people on shift at any given time. So
Now, is it enough to cover an influx of people or
not really. Sometimes it depends. When we get slammed, man, it's a nightmare. But we love it. I still love it. I'll never get tired of it, man. I don't care how slammed we are. I'm having a good night.
Well, in my humble opinion, I would say talk to your friend, your neighbor, and tell him that you know what's he planned for the employees. I mean, his plan, not the new owner's plan.
Yeah.
See what.
He is looking out for us. He did say, I mean, I'm not gonna leave y'all out in the cold. He did say even if they sell it, he's giving me a cut of the of the price. I mean, they're gonna take care of me. They always have. So
Sounds like a taco truck.
I would love to do a taco truck, bro.
Why not? I mean, you have the opportunity.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
What's it cost for a food truck?
I don't know, probably 50 grand. Hopefully, I don't know. That has been my dream for a long time. Believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, do it this way. First, get the option of you being bought in as part of the deal. Second, if it doesn't come out and you get a part of the cut,
Yeah.
put it in a truck. I mean, can you imagine being competition right across from him?
Oh man, that would be awesome.
Let me ask you this: is there another place in town that's similar or smaller for a smaller diner?
Nope. It's the only one, man.
Mm.
So, but trust me, if everyone in town found out I was running me a taco truck, they would fill out, man.
Well, you could do a split menu. You can do taco breakfast.
I don't do breakfast, but I do. I can do. I'll do.
Okay, let me tell you this: most of the trucks in this area, and
Yeah.
there's 5 or 6 of them. I would say closer to 6. I'm trying to think of all the ones in town. Okay, they start at 3 and finish at midnight.
3 in the 3 at afternoon.
Yeah,
Yep, that's about my perfect hours right there.
because here's what happens: 3 o'clock, all the kids get out of school,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a big influx of kids going to get something to eat.
Hell yes, there is.
Then you have the 4 o'clock and the 5 o'clock and the 6 o'clock shifts either going on,
Or you getting out.
and then you have the 7 o'clock dinner rush to 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And then you have the late nighters, like in California, I'm looking at California time.
Yeah. Over here, we don't have the late nighters, but
Yeah, we have tons of late nighters.
I don't know. Getting out of the bar, boom, hit the taco.
No.
Oh,
We have 3 plants that are 24 hours.
oh yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
So they're getting to work at 10 to work on the second shift.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll pick up lunch on their way to work.
Dang, bro.
Then at midnight you can shut it down, or you can go to one of the prisons, because we got 2 of them that have at least 500 working on the third shift.
Dang.
So that's
Yeah.
California. I don't know about your area. You probably know it better than I do.
Yeah, I probably.
Like you already said, you already know they don't do. So you can probably start maybe noon for lunch for the farmers, the ranchers,
Hell yeah.
and then work till 9.
That'd be perfect. I'm gonna think about that. That has been my dream for a long time, to run a food truck.
Okay, what would you run in your food truck? What kind of food would you run?
I wouldn't say it's a taco truck, but I like the burgers, the salsichas, hot dogs,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean, stuff that's quick. I mean, not that tacos ain't quick, but we have 3 taco trucks in our town right now. So, but
Yep.
there's only one hamburger joint right here, and that's the one I'm at.
Oh, you don't have like a drive up or like a Sonic or something like that, or
We are. That's us right
that's
now.
you guys?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay, it sounds like competition time.
I know.
No, seriously.
Plus, I know how to do it better than them. Plus, everybody in this town would come to me.
And keep the name, Mr. Popzilla's Taco Truck, or
You're hilarious.
what else would you need? You need someone to run the kitchen and one person to do the cooking, right?
In the truck?
Yeah, you only need 2 people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe a third, for like prep work.
Nah, you can do that ahead of time.
That's true.
I'd say 2 people could run a decent truck. We only got 3 people right now running the whole restaurant, so
There's a place in Fresno, right on Ventura Boulevard. It has 6 stools. That's how small that place is, and they're only 2 chairs wide against the window, and it's a 1940s.
that's how ours is, bro.
Really?
I wish I could send you a picture of it.
It's just like a
It's
happy.
like the one from Happy Days, bro. Big Al's Diner.
Oh no, that's not even that. This
Oh.
one is just like no. It's like I said. It's like 6 stools, 3 on one side, and the other 3 wrap around to the cashiers, and that's where it ends. But
Dang.
right across from them, you have enough room just to walk down between the stools on the counter, and then the 2 chairs next to the wall.
Huh.
It's not wide. It's almost as wide as my kitchen.
And then they're busy all day, I bet, huh?
Dude, they have people picking up orders.
I bet, man. That's awesome. I will just see what happens.
Yeah, it reminds me of a soda counter, the old 1940s soda counter.
Yep. That's how ours is. It's the last of its kind. It's a dying breed.
There's one in San Francisco called Fox City Diner. It's a railroad car, an old food car,
Sweet.
and you can't even get a reservation there in a year because packing it so much. It isn't so much the food's great. I mean, the food is good.
I think I've heard of that place.
Yeah, it was on a commercial.
Diners, Drives, and Dash, or whatever. It was on the Guy Fieri show. He said diners, drive-ins, and dashes, or something like that.
Diners, drives, and yeah, I know what you're talking about. That Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Well,
Diners,
right now.
dives, yeah.
Diners, dives, and drives.
Drive-ins, dives. I don't remember, but yeah, you know the one.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, if you have an opportunity and you get some cash flow from the part of the business, then I'd
Yeah,
go for it.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what happens. So I can always cash in on my silver. I've been stacking.
Well, that's my next goal. Now that I know a little bit more about coins, um, I plan to start buying silver. I even started asking people in the streams. There's one guy I came across. He had 90 Mercury dimes, and he wanted a firm price of $1.50 each. And at the time, silver was at $1.24 per dime, and it came out $1.50, and it was like $65 over spot. And he said I thought that was not a good price to go over. So I offered him what the guys thought it was a good price for, and he said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "No." Are you crazy? So he was trying to sell it for like 26 cents on a dime extra.
Yeah, you gotta find the deals, but I mean, either way, it's gonna go up, so you'll catch up eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think silver went up today, or it just went down last. It
it's
was
up to $18.
it was 1792 at the last time. Oh, now it's 1782.
Oh, last time I seen it, it was almost. It was like a penny under 18.
Really? See, right now a Mercury dime is $1.28.9.
When I first started stacking, it was 14.43 an ounce. So
Dang.
those were the good days. That was like a year ago.
Well,
So,
I was talking to Craig Durbin. Oh, did he start one? He sent me a link. Where is he? 11:41 p.m. I didn't see
I
it until
didn't,
right now.
I didn't get it.
Neither did I. I'm until right now.
Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Craig. He wouldn't cool to talk to. But no, I mean, even Jeep and John, you know who that is?
yeah, he's my homie.
Yeah, he sent me a dime for Christmas.
Right on.
Yeah, 42, and the funny 45 D, and it happened to be that was one of them. It's one of the holes I needed to fill.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
I got me about 100 of those.
yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty intense on the stacking of constitutional right at first. I got the half dimes, no, not the half dollars, ton of dimes, ton of quarters, and then I started buying all the high premium silver like the kookaburras, the pandas, the the pirate ship. What are those? The Queen Anne's Revenge. Got a bunch of those. Korean tigers. Then I started getting into poured silver, hand poured. Man, those beauties. That's an art piece right there. It's artwork.
Yeah,
So,
Stacker Slacker.
oh yeah, I bought that off him. The
Oh,
pill,
did
the
you?
snack and all, the snack and all. Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. He's getting into it, and I said one of these days I need to clean my garage out. I mean, I've got automotive parts, and I've got some things I got to do with my cars to get them, ready for eventually fix them. Because I got a part time job, working for the U.S. Census Service, and there's a possibility it may turn into a full time, not a full time, but a part time for the rest of the year. And if I can, save enough money, I want to put my cars back on the road. I got a '57 Chevy half-ton pickup
Nice.
that I'm working on, and I want to get back on. Like I want to get that back on the road, and a few other things, pay off some bills, and just tighten things up because I might retire this year in June, or I may not, depending on the job that I might keep. Or retire at the same time and keep the job. Because I can make up to, I think IRS said limits to 49,000 a year.
Don't you got to be 65 to retire, or what's the rules?
62.
That's it. Right on.
Yeah. So I'll be 63 in a week.
Right on, brother. Happy birthday.
Gracias. So I don't know if I want to retire or keep working because officially I'll have 3 pensions.
Dang.
Well, okay, hold on.
You're set for life, bro.
Well, the thing is, the job that I didn't want, my dad made me get. I've got that pension now. Then I've got Social Security.
There you go.
Then I've got 2 accounts with my teaching because I taught and also coached. So coach was a separate pension, separate from my teaching. Then I've got Pepsi stock that I put into mutual funds. That's another. Yeah, and my last one is my state teachers, not state teachers. What is it? Doggone it! I had it straight in my head. Now I forgot it. But I've got one that I'm getting now from retail clerks. I got one that I rolled over from Pepsi, and I've got 2 from teaching and Social Security. So I got 5 pensions coming.
Dang, bro. Good night, Midnight Silver Run. Have a good night, brother.
So hopefully, and then my wife, she's not going to retire until another year after I do, if I retire. So, yeah, I'll be okay.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I as long as I got beans, rice, a little piece of meat, roof over my head, enough to pay for my electricity and all that, I'll be happy.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you need.
And good friends, of course, and family.
Yes, sir.
So I got that.
Got it on lock.
Well, I just hope everything turns out the way it's supposed to.
Me
And then I
too.
got my grandkids, and I have my son and daughter, and yeah. So if I look at it that way, 90 doesn't seem. It's like the old Indian saying, "Today's a good day to die, but not today." I change my mind. Change my mind.
Everybody wants to go to heaven, but not right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking my dad's brothers and sisters, all 13 of them except for one. My mom, my grandpa, my grandma, all my cousins. I said, "Geez, they're having a party right now." And believe me, this is not a lie. We had the best fun when it was just food and games.
I believe you.
It was unbelievable. We would have like when we had Thanksgiving over at my dad's house, and my cousins came from Livingston, which is a town up near Modesto, and they'd come down and we play picture aids, picture something like that. I forget what it is. You draw pictures, you try to make
Yeah.
a song, a movie, whatever.
Yeah.
We had a blast, and the food that we had, oh, it was endless. And then my cousins would come over from my dad's side of the family. So I had both my cousins on both sides of the family come, and the house was completely filled. Our front yard, nothing but cars. It's a good thing it was on the ranch. We had open pasture on the side because we had so many cars. We didn't leave them in the street, so we parked them on the pasture.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was, and now I kind of miss it because things change and
Yep.
it's not good. But
You'll always have the memory.
yeah, oh yeah, it was always fun with Dad.
Right on.
Even though he had issues too. I mean, poor guy never went for mental health, and that I saw the bad side of war. How it affects a person.
Yeah. Damn, bro.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, all my dad's brothers all suffered from the war. Even my cousins from Vietnam. Jeez. When somebody says these kids have nightmares when they go to Afghanistan or Iraq, I believe it.
Yeah. Happened to my best friend from high school. He went to Somalia on Operation Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that. He got shot. He's got that Purple Heart, and he's got that PTSD.
Well, my grandson's father spent 8 years in the Navy as a corpsman, and he was attached to the Marine Corps unit, and he saw some shit.
I bet.
He's got a bad back. He was in an IED explosion. he saw things that you would not even
Yeah.
imagine.
Exactly.
And
Things
I
that.
don't, and I don't ask him because I already know if
Yeah.
my dad went through it and he didn't talk about it, why would he? You know.
Yep.
I'm there to listen, and I've listened to a lot of my wife's uncle. Um, he was in Vietnam. He was a gunner for Huey's, and sometimes he opened up on civilians because they were running towards the helicopter, and
Dang.
he lit them up. And their term. He lit them up, and as soon as the first one hit him, the woman or the kid, they blow up.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. That's the one story he told me. And it wasn't because it was gory or it was just, remembering. And I sat there with my mouth open going, damn.
Corn Junkie, what's up, brother?
Hey, Coin Junkie, how you doing, sir? You know something? My dad told me one thing about the service. Yeah, he joined for patriotism, but he lived to come home and protect the guy next to him because he was his protection for the guy next to him.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be just to survive. And I get that from a lot of veterans. When I took my dad to the VA hospital, I sat there with him for hours, waiting his turn to get his meds or seeing the doctor or we sit there and my dad would say, "Hey, can we stay here for a while?" I said, "Dad, whatever you want. I got plenty of time." So we sit there and he would talk to guy. It's like the service again. It's like these guys, they don't know each other, but they know each other. It's like they had to make friends in conversation because they were never long in one place, or the military made them depend on each other to talk to each other, or whatever. And I sat there with them, and Dad would talk about his times, and they would talk about that and this, and some guys will ask me, "Well, what did you serve?" I said, "I didn't," and then I said, "I just served in the military." And one guy got up and said, "Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I didn't serve in the military." No, but where the military left off, you picked up. You're with your dad. I never thought of it that way.
Oh man.
That was a big compliment to me.
Right on. I'm gonna have to hit the sack.
Do it.
5:30 almost. 5:13.
It's 4:13 over here, sir. You did it to me again, Popzilla.
What do I do?
Talking too long.
Got you talking. All
Yeah.
right.
No, it's good though. It's all good for me. Thank you.
Great conversation, bro.
Always, always, sir. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
All right, brother.
Okay.
Happy New Year's. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.
Okay. I'll be here.
Right on, brother.
Hey, like I said, I'm praying for you and your son.
I appreciate you.
Anytime, sir.
Take it easy, Hector.
Good
Night.
night. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:13 in the morning. Now it's 4:14. I think I'm going to call it a night myself. Even though I took a nap until about 11 o'clock, maybe I should wake up in the morning about another 3 or 4 hours and see how it works out for the day. Y'all have a nice evening, Coin Junkie. And anyone else in here. There's 5 people in the room. I appreciate your time. You guys coming in. America Silver Patriot, morning. How are you, sir? I was just about to sign off, but I'm glad to say good morning to you too. Now, 6 people here now. You were the 6th person to come in the door, Mr. America. Boy, I wonder if there's filters for glasses so when you read a computer, light doesn't bother you as much. Yeah. Yeah, Pops was here. Oh, there he is. I hate to leave, but I really gotta. My wife's already asleep, and she hasn't come out of the bedroom yet to tell me time to go to Mimi's. Okay, folks, I really got to call it a night. I'm glad y'all showed up. If you get a chance, hit that like button. If you have a chance, also make a comment after it loads up. Yes, I know it's harder now. Later, junkie. Appreciate you guys popping in. Hope I didn't miss anybody. There's 5 people in the conversation. I know Rich Cali left a minute ago, and so did Midnight Silver Run. Silver Stars. Sand Hoarder, are you still here? Silver Vinder. Let's see, anybody else that I didn't catch? Midnight Silver Run, I think I did get him. Massive Coin Roll Hunter. Fire Squad, Field Guy, Michael Mercer. 7 Wonders, Alden Davis. Ohio's in bed already, I know that. Okay. I hope I said everybody's name. I hope you all have a good evening, a good night, and a good morning when you wake up. And down to 3. Popzilla must have left already. I hate to just close it out. 417. Okay, guys. And ladies, and just in case you're there, lady, I will end the stream. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Or today, I should say. Thank you. Good night.